DDT and get 15% off your purchase.
Here's important new information from the Diabetes Solution Center for you, a family member, or a loved one suffering with diabetes. If you have lost your provider, or if you need a provider for diabetic supplies, you may qualify to receive your diabetic testing supplies now with little or no out-of-pocket cost, regardless of your age. All you need is Medicare or private insurance to be potentially eligible. Call the Diabetes Solution Center right now for details. Just takes a couple of minutes. Our friendly, knowledgeable agents will give you free, no-obligation information, handle all the insurance paperwork, and make sure your supplies are delivered directly to your door for free.
Call U.S. Medical Supply 24 hours a day. 800-597-9323. 800-597-9323. 800-597-9323. Call right now. 800-597-9323.
Mojo 50. The question isn't who's going to let us. The question is who's going to stop us. The mothership has landed.
Uh-oh.
Hear me. There I am.
He is.
Wow, for a second I thought it was going to be a very short day. I was going to pack it up and go home.
No such luck, brother.
Nope, but it's Friday.
Let's
it's a
do
big
it.
day.
Good loving.
Just choose any key. Any key.
It's hard this early in the morning.
Hold on. Okay, I don't have enough hands to do this.
Morning, Brad.
It's been a long week.
It's
been a very long week, and I was standing outside yesterday out in the shop, and I thought, Lord, why have you forsaken me? Why are you burning the entire planet down? And he looked down and he said, check your calendar. It's summer in Texas. It was hot yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
Which was
When
just...
they get to 98 degrees outside.
Well, no, outside of my shop at home, it said 100 degrees. And it was like 100. The heat index was like 108. I mean, it was stupid hot. It was just, ugh. And summer isn't officially here until 11:54 this morning, Eastern time. At that time, we will hit the summer solstice in the northern hemisphere. You know what that means, don't you? It's getting to be summer. And
Summer in the city.
Technically, this would be an earworm. Stinky tweeted this out, and I thought, you know what? Pretty appropriate for today. It is very hot. By the way, it grows 6 inches every year this time of year.
What's that?
I was hoping you'd ask. The Eiffel Tower. You know that the Eiffel
expansion?
The Eiffel Tower
No way.
expands in the summer heat. It grows more than 6 inches. That's there's a bell in there somewhere. Let's see what other exciting things. I love this. The month of June was named either after Hunioris, the lower branch of the Roman Senate, or Juno, the wife of Jupiter. So they don't really know who it was named after, but it was named after something. And the word solstice from the Latin solstitium, which comes from sol, sun, and stitium, to stop, which means the sun has stopped. And a bit of trivia for you.
Yeah.
Are we closest to the sun or farthest from the sun today?
Well, logically, it would say we were closest to the sun.
So you're going to go with logic?
Yes.
No.
Damn
You're
it.
wrong. We are farthest from the sun today. It's just the way that the Earth is tilted on its axis.
Oh, I got you.
It's our fault. I mean, I'm sure that somehow we have tilted the Earth on its axis. Actually, the Earth did. What was the disaster that not too many years ago? They said it actually caused the Earth to shift like a half a degree or something stupid. We're all going to die. It doesn't matter. You might as well go out with a bang. The 10 most searched summer vacations on online. And would you like to be here today? The Bahamas. No one's dying in the Bahamas, are they? That's the Dominicans. So no one's dying in the Bahamas. That'd be a good place to go.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah. The Bahamas is there. Let's see what's the next one. Next most often, Miami. A lot of people are going to Miami for summer vacation.
You know, Miami's not bad, especially Beach Boulevard. I mean, it's South Beach. It's pretty cool if you've never been there. But God, dog, Miami.
There's a lot of people.
Yeah,
a lot of people. I have a picture of me in Miami on what's the name of that one street there? Didn't you just say?
I said it's in South Beach, but I think it starts with an O. I think the street does.
Well, I have a picture of me with a python around my neck. Just like
why are you carrying your python to Miami?
Yeah, you know, when you go to when in Miami, do as the Miamians. Catalina Island is number 8 on the list. I've never, I lived in California all those years. I never went to Catalina Island. They say it's a great place to take a little vacay. Mackinac Island was the uninitiated would call it Mackinac.
Mackinac, I would have.
There are no cars on Mackinac Island. Did you know that? It's all bicycles. Yeah, they don't have any cars over there.
On purpose?
Yeah.
I mean, is that like an ordinance down there?
I guess so. Of course, how would you get one there? Ocean City, Maryland. Definitely not Baltimore.
No.
And let's see, Amsterdam.
Ooh, I'd like to go there.
We were just talking about mushrooms. I think they're legal there. I think not only are they legal there, you can buy them too. We're just
somebody in the studio might have been looking up where to buy magic mushrooms.
No, we were talking about it. I said they're legal in Denver. They're legal to have them, but you can't sell them. Which makes government has
you have to give them away.
Government has a way of screwing everything up. Virginia Beach, Virginia is the 4th most popular searched vacation destination for summer in the United States, followed by Bora Bora.
I want to go there.
Look at that. Oh,
those are the little huts over the water.
Oh, is that was it Couples Retreat or was that Tahiti? Anyway, yeah, the little huts there. Yep. Yeah. I don't know, though, Ron. Standing here as we are in Haltom City, Texas, overlooking the waters of the Mojo River they challenge that for their beauty, their sparkling beauty, and their raw natural energy. I think. I'm not sure that they're really. It's fair to compare.
Look at that water.
No, you're right. I'd rather be there in Bora Bora.
I'd love to wake up in the morning, just walk down the stairs, jump in the ocean. God, dog. There are people who get to do that.
You know what? You could do that. You could do it. You could chuck everything right now and head down there. Nothing stopping you.
Yeah, money.
Just money. You can do it. I mean, if you set your mind to it, you could leave today and you could be there. I mean, sell everything you have and just go. If you think about it, you really could do that.
Yes. Mm-hmm. There's no question about it.
There you go.
Just go.
Sell
everything you have and just go.
You don't want it bad enough.
Oh, no, I want it bad, but there's other people I have to consider.
You don't think your family would want to be there?
Oh, I was thinking about the jackals.
Oh, they don't care.
You were welcome.
They would, it'd be Ron who?
Yeah, they would be.
So I have to be in the same
I'd
boat.
Really be that guy that nobody knows his name.
Who? What? Don't there some guy? There's Mike. Dubai is. This is what I wouldn't have thought of. Dubai as a vacation destination.
It's become that over the last 10 years.
Let's see. Dubai is in the Arab.
I want to see the Burj Khalifa one time. That's the tallest building.
Oh, is that the one? Yeah. Is that the twin thing with the tower that goes between, or the walkway?
That's in
that's in Alabama.
No, it's not in Alabama.
Sorry, it's in Georgia somewhere. No, I know it's the one that was in that movie that they hung off of.
Yeah, Tom Cruise did. Yeah, he ran around the outside of it.
I would want to do that. And the number one searched vacation online is Hawaii. And I wouldn't mind being there right now either. That's some nice water.
My brother and sister-in-law lived there for years, and I never got to go visit them over there.
Really?
Yeah.
That's too bad. You should have done it. See,
I should have.
That's the problem.
I sent my daughter over there for her graduation gift, but I've never been to Hawaii.
You would have thought. I mean, if there's one thing we've learned in this life is fast. I mean, we've learned that in the past 6 months. Man, life goes by, boo. and it's gone. You might as well get out there and do what you want to do while you are still walking the face of the earth. Of course, some would argue that once you're dead, it doesn't matter anyway, so who cares? We had the news that there's going to be a new ABBA album, which shook Ron's world here last week.
Yeah, it did.
For the rest of the, if you're a Buddy Holly or a Roy Orbison fan, there's going to be a hologram tour.
Really?
Yep. They're coming, I don't know if they're starting in Beverly Hills out in California in September, or if it's just, or if that is midpoint in the tour. But it's Roy Orbison and Buddy Holly, the Rock and Roll Dream Tour. It's put on by Bass Hologram. It's going to feature holographic versions of their performances and remastered audio from Orbison and Buddy Holly. The holograms will be accompanied by a live band and backup singers. See, I thought that's what they're going to do with ABBA, but then he came on and said, nope, they're not doing that. They're just going to put out a new album. So if you are, if you're in that area in September, you can go see Buddy Holly and Roy Orbison together again.
Wasn't it Tupac Shakur that they did the first hologram of?
I don't know.
I remember that was several years ago. But
I have all of his albums, but
these are pretty cool, actually.
I think that's the future. The future of entertainment. The worst states to visit for summer vacation. Why search out a beautiful destination spot when you can
pick a place that nobody else is going?
At least you won't have to fight the crowds.
There is that.
Wisconsin, one of the worst states where you can travel on a road trip, according to WalletHub. The state scores well for safety, but WalletHub reports that it's relatively expensive to visit. While you're there, you might run out of attractions to see and activities to try. Although the Wisconsin Dells, I still remember that as when I was a kid, my parents, when did we stop there? Maybe it's just on the way to someplace else, but we stopped at Wisconsin Dells, and I still remember that. I think I still have a scrapbook with crap from Wisconsin Dells in it.
Oh, nice.
Which, by the way, I still need to digitize all that crap so I can throw the stupid scrapbooks away. So when I'm no longer walking the face of the planet, somebody's not going through my stuff going, why did he keep this junk? Oklahoma is the one of the worst places you can visit. Again, according to WalletHub, it's the cheapest states to travel to. But they say that in terms of safety and activities, there's nothing to do, and it's not safe to do it there.
Unless you're a storm chaser. And then if you're a storm chaser, Oklahoma is one of the best states to go to.
That would be fun, actually.
Storm chasing?
Yes.
No.
Oh, yeah, it would. Get a little adrenaline going.
I'd have to be in one of those tank cars or something.
That doesn't matter.
Get a little adrenaline going.
Still suck you right up into the funnel cloud. Massachusetts, they say, is a popular destination for people who live in New England, but according to WalletHub, they don't recommend it as a vacation destination.
My wife wants to go to Boston.
Boston's cool.
Boston. How do you say it?
Boston. You mean with the Massachusetts in the backyard, not too far from the car? Shaw, you want down the street? You can't get there from here. The thing about the accents up in New England,
I love that, Brad.
It's like England. There are, I guess, hence the New England moniker. There are many different. There's the New Hampshire accent. Yeah. How do you get? Well, come to think of it, you can't get there from here.
That's the JFK.
No.
Was he? He was.
No, they were Nantucket.
Nantucket, yeah.
The Nantucket Kennedys. But there's so many different accents up there. There's the highfalutin and there's the country accent. But no matter what, they say that Massachusetts is too expensive, and they don't recommend it. Alabama.
I like Alabama.
Why would you want to go to Alabama? It's wallet-friendly state to choose as vacation destination. It ranks as one of the worst states for road trippers due to the dearth of activities. You don't see that word anymore. The dearth of activities and attractions available.
The lack thereof?
I guess so. If you like to play golf, apparently a lot of golf courses in Alabama. And there's also the Space and Rocket Center in Huntsville.
Yeah.
That's a lot of fun. Strangely, Hawaii is also on the worst places to go because they say that it costs too much.
It's just too damn expensive.
Not if you go to one of the Smile Islands. If you go to like Kauai, the Garden Island,
beautiful.
And it's still costly, but it's not as expensive as going to.
Is it Oahu? Oahu's the big island. Well, it's
big
the island
island
where like Pearl Harbor is, right?
Yeah.
Diamond Head.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to go there.
It's pretty. I will tell you that. If you are going to do any of that, make sure you take along your supply of Atrantil. Now they're saying the gut bacteria can even affect chronic pain. I'm telling you.
That's the problem I've got. Chronic pain.
Strangely, you're a pain to me too. Hey, hold on, hang on. Damn it. I know it's a reach. It's Friday. I really just don't give a crap. Correlation between disease involving chronic pain, alterations in the gut microbiome. Microdome, that was a Tina Turner movie, I think. Fibromyalgia affects 2 to 4% of the population that has no known cure. And now they're saying that they can trace that back to gut bacteria. The mysteries of the universe are going to be found in our intestines. Go to lovemytummy.com/mojo, and you'll find Atrantil. And that's not designed to cure or treat a disease. What it is designed to do is, if you got some bloating, abdominal discomfort, or in the words of Jeremy Hansen, those occasional explosive bouts of diarrhea. That's what Atrantil is there to help with. Even body inflammation. You get your daily polyphenols with Atrantil. It's at lovemytummy.com/mojo. Before we continue on with the other worst places to visit, let's see what the jackholes are doing as they all prepare for their busy weekend. James from Alabama, I approve. Absolutely nothing to do in Alabama unless you want to pay too much for cheap crap. But that sounds like, isn't that what we do every time we go on a summer vacation?
Every time we go on a road trip. You got to stop at the truck stops and buy cheap crap.
See, I used to buy souvenirs at places, and then I realized, okay, you end up with a bunch of crap at home that you paid too much for. So now on vacation, I do a picture. Make sure you get a nice picture.
Yep.
And then there's a place online.
Maybe put some sand from whatever beach you go to in a bottle.
Do you know that you are not supposed to do that on the it's the black sand beach in Hawaii?
Why?
But they don't want, because if everybody did that, it wouldn't be any beach left. You're not supposed to take any of the sand home.
That's amazing.
Yeah. I took some anyway.
I started to say, so does everybody else.
I know. But I think that's more satisfying a souvenir than buying some cheap piece of plastic, which, by the way, is polluting the planet. Shulva 8-1189. That's an interesting Twitter handle. Once again, Missouri is left off the summer vacation lists. We didn't even make it the don't travel. Well, I'm not done yet. So you could still be on the don't travel list. And Jackhole Angry Beaver using the hashtag What I Learned Today, which is what you need to do if you want us to find your tweets. Massachusetts, go to Battleship Cove. I was just there, loved it. Amazing to see. My dad's ship is there. That's right. I saw the pictures of you holding the picture of your dad on Twitter.
Oh, that's nice. Oh, Pickle Squirrel was hers is pretty funny.
First time I went to Wisconsin, all I saw were signs for beer, cheese, and porn.
Sounds like a good vacation spot to me.
Why not? That's I think that's all you really need for a good vacation, isn't it? Montana is the next on the list of vacation
but look
destinations.
at that. Look at that picture of Montana. Now, if you've got a stressful life, if your job is stressful, this is the place to go and be. Just stand there, walk around in the nothing.
Nope, I can't go to Montana.
Why?
I have an ex-wife there.
Okay.
Ugh. Every time I step foot in Montana, it's like, whoa. They say it makes an affordable vacation destination, but if you go to the western state hoping to find lots of activities and attractions, you may end up disappointed. You can watch the prairie grass sway to and fro. And actually, up in that area, Tekru lives up around, he's in not Montana. What's the other state up there? Boy, that's a bad day to pull a blank on my my brain. It is
North Dakota?
Nope.
South Dakota?
Nope. Wyoming.
Wyoming?
Thank you. Wyoming is a lot like that in that there are miles and miles of nothingness, but it is stunningly beautiful. And it is so nice to get you get in the car and you drive, and it's just.
I'm telling you, if you live in like New York or L.A. or hell, even Dallas, and you just want to get away for a while, go find a big, nice camping spot in Montana.
Kill a transient along the way just for a little
Wyoming.
sexual gratification and have a good time.
You get lost out in that place out there.
That's what I've heard. New Jersey is on the list of places you shouldn't go. New Jersey scores well on safety. Really? That's surprising. However, that's the end of the good news for the Garden State, according to Wallet Hub. You can expect to pay a pretty penny to vacation in the state, and you won't be able to enjoy nearly as many activities and attractions as you'd find in other states. Lots of beaches, though. Kansas is on the list of not great vacation states. Vacation to Kansas probably won't break the bank, but you may not return home with many great memories either.
Most all of these are flyover states.
Yeah,
well,
they
New
are.
Jersey, I guess.
You just have to know where to look. I think this
Right.
is written by a bunch of snobs. I used to live in Kansas. Parsons, Kansas.
Kansas is known for its tornadoes.
Yeah, well, now, hell, half the country is known for tornadoes. Arkansas, I'm surprised that Arkansas is on the list. I mean, didn't the Clinton Museum and Porn Hall of Fame there?
Of course. But I'm going to tell you, if you're an over-the-road driver,
Uh-huh.
the worst roads in America
Yeah, they do.
are in freaking Arkansas. And it's crazy because as soon as you cross the state line in any direction, the roads turn to like crap. They should have just stayed with dirt roads. It'd have been a lot better,
They're spending their money on other more important things, apparently.
I guess.
Don't know what that is. Delaware. You know, I feel bad for Delaware because no one really ever says, you know, this summer I'm going to Delaware. You just, what is there to do in Delaware? It's not nearly as expensive as a vacation destination in some other states. However, we still wouldn't recommend choosing it for your next road trip. State landed in the bottom 5 for its number and diversity of attractions and activities. But if you want to form a corporation, it's fabulous. It also has few scenic byways, which can be a deal breaker for travelers hoping to get some gorgeous drives. Most people who travel to Delaware go to the state to see how do you say that? Rehoboth Beach.
Mm.
So there you go. So if you're going to go to Delaware, go to that beach. North Dakota is on the list at number 5.
I lived there for 4 years, and I will tell you that you can see till the earth curves.
Miles and miles, as the Who once said. Well, but you know what? That's the problem. When you live somewhere, like I lived in Nashville for 25 years.
And all the cars plug in.
Never went to the Grand Ole Opry. Not once did I sit in the house. Well, I worked at the Grand Ole Opry. I mean, backstage and. So
Are we still talking about North Dakota?
No, I'm just saying when you are in a state,
Tennessee, right?
You never appreciate what you have in that state. So living in North
because you
Dakota,
live there.
right?
No, absolutely.
So there's probably a lot of things to do. You just never did them.
There's a lot of things to do in North Dakota about 8 months of the year.
There's like
shoveling snow.
There's 2 things to do in North Dakota, and I don't play cards. The Midwestern state got mediocre scores for cost and safety. They weren't impressed by the number of attractions and activities. Most exciting things to do in North Dakota included visiting the Theodore Roosevelt National Park and stopping by the state capitol building and grounds. They say you need to tolerate some long and boring drives. Okay, boring drives. The boring drive is Nashville to Memphis. That is a boring drive. A drive in North Dakota, like through the Black Hills.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's beautiful. Pennsylvania is on the list at number 4. Worst state to choose as a vacation destination. The state proves very expensive. There's a respectable number of attractions available to tourists. The state earned a pretty poor score for safety. A lot of things to do in Philly and Pittsburgh, but those places are a lot more dangerous than some of the slower-paced regions of the state. Mississippi, Mississippi. M-I crooked letter, I crooked letter, I-P-P-P-I.
Humpback I.
So yeah, you're right. Sorry, I missed that one. They land in the top 3 of the worst states as a vacation spot. They say it's very affordable. There's just nothing to do there. Worst scores for both safety and for attractions and activities that you can enjoy. You can visit, however, the Gulf Islands National Seashore. Ta-da!
I read the last 2 sentences.
If nothing else, you can fuel up and get out quickly when you get bored.
It says because Mississippi has some of the lowest average gas prices.
There you go.
Just fuel up and get out quick.
Yep. Rhode Island is number 2 on the list. Second place is worst. They say there's not much to do. And the worst state to visit for your vacation is Connecticut. Don't go to Connecticut. Don't take a road trip. The state, one of the most expensive. They said it had the very worst score for its selection of tourist attractions and activities for travelers. You'll find some beautiful attractions. Getting there likely won't be pretty. So, sorry, Connecticut. You're not going to be getting our tourist dollars this year. Too bad. Although I've been to Connecticut, it's not all that bad. It's all about what you want to do. And if you just want to get away, if you just want to go and rest your brain, hell, you can do that in the backyard.
The big thing is people who don't live there or live in the southern states, they just go up there to see it.
Exactly. It's all in your mental attitude. This is your Daily Mojo.
Happily promoting the 4 F's. Freedom, faith, free markets, and fun. Mojo 50.
Raise your hand if you've heard of Andrew Yang before. I'm guessing most of you haven't put your hands up. Well, Yang is running to be our next president with the Democratic Party, and in plenty of media circles, he's seen as a visionary for the party and the country. Judging by the polls, though, Yang's not doing so hot. But since the media love the man who champions a universal basic income, warns us of the coming apocalypse of automation, and generally talks in grand visionary speech, I thought it prudent to take a look into what makes him a darling of the left. I didn't have to look too far, though, thanks to Vox, of all places. It turns out they were just as curious, and it turns out that Yang's life in the private sector is about as full of holes as is his vision for the country. You see, Yang spent 6 years at the helm of a nonprofit called Venture for America, where its mission is to revitalize cities and poor neighborhoods through venture capital and startups. His goal of Venture for America was to create 100,000 jobs by 2025. So, how has it worked out? According to Recode and Vox, VFA has created fewer than 4,000 jobs to date. Furthermore, nearly half of the organization's fellows, which were placed in cities Yang wanted to target for revitalization, no longer have their companies in said cities. Heck, only 2,500 people applied for positions with VFA on a yearly basis, according to the article. There are only 800 total fellows creating the program, both alumni and currently active. That's not good news when you wanted to create 100,000 jobs in just 15 years' time. Why did Yang fall short? Robots. Yes, Yang is on record saying he left VFA because he realized that startups could never create enough jobs to replace those that robots will displace. It all adds up to a man that's more Trump-style braggart and brand maker than the results-driven Robin Hood the media makes him out to be. I'm Andrew Coppins. This has been By the Numbers, and you can follow me on the socials at The Coppins Show.
By the Numbers with Andrew Coppins is powered by Patriot Mobile, America's only conservative cell phone company offering super reliable nationwide service, donating a portion of their profits to organizations fighting for our conservative values. Call 1-800-A-PATRIOT or visit patriotmobile.com.
The Daily Mojo.
All right, get your communiques in. Use the hashtag What I Learned Today. Peekapoo, the snarky jackhole. I agree. Pennsylvania is totally not worth visiting. Please spread the word so all these damn tourists get off our roads and out of the way. Yeah, you know what? Here's the thing about tourism, though, is that you want the tourists in there so that they can tax them when they start renting cars. You ever notice that? You rent a car at the airport, they bend you over with the taxes.
Oh, yeah, because all they do on the website is put the low end. Here's what the rental is. But fees will kill you on a car rental.
That's because they know you're not going to live there. You don't have to. They don't have to worry about getting your vote, so they will bend you over at the airport on everything from the airport tax to the rental car fee to the hotel fee. It's just stream of unconsciousness. White sandy beaches, sunshine, best seafood anywhere, and women in bikinis. Mobile, Alabama. Start here, then head east. I will say this: if you are ever down near the Florida-Alabama state line, the Florabama Lounge.
Florabama
Lounge. I discovered that place.
Is that on the state line?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right there. Hence the Florabama moniker.
Florabama Lounge.
And I think, didn't Kenny Chesney do a song about it recently in the past few years? And I discovered it back in 1990. Did a story on it for the Nashville Network, and it was that was where I almost went tandem parachuting, and then I looked at the guys who were doing it, and I thought, I'm not sure I want to strap myself to him and jump out of an airplane. so I didn't.
Was he a big old boy or horse?
I don't remember exactly what they look like. I just remember thinking, I'm not even sure I'd want him to drive.
Just don't want him to spoon me.
No,
right now.
it's not the. Yeah, I don't need him behind me falling from 10,000
I hear
feet.
that Destin, Florida, is a good place to go.
Destin's beautiful.
I've never been, but I'd like to go.
That whole area, the Redneck Riviera, it's surprisingly nice.
Yeah,
that's actually where I encountered the kelp bed and almost freaked out. It was one of those.
How did it get between you and the?
It just drifted over.
Oh, it did.
Yeah,
okay.
So it was. I had to. You got one choice: you either swim through it, or exhaust yourself going around it and scream like a girl going all the way through it. Saddle effing tramp. Real Brad Staggs. I contest your most boring drive. San Antonio to El Paso on I-10 is the worst. Am I right, Real Ron Phillips and fellow Texicans?
Yeah. The only good thing about that drive is the speed limit's 85.
Which means you can go 95 or 100.
Yeah.
I
and just get the hell through there.
I'm not sure I've ever been on that.
Do you know, Brad, and most people don't realize this, that it takes longer to get from Dallas to El Paso in the state of Texas than it does to get from El Paso to L.A.?
Is it really?
God, dog, it's 10 hours.
Well, you know what? That's some good thinking time right there. It's a good time to get in touch with yourself. Dallas to El Paso is boring, second only to the 460 miles of I-80 through Nebraska. Where I drove from Nashville to Denver once, and driving through Kansas, there's one tree, and you can see it for miles. You see it coming, you see it coming. Shoo.
That's the way it was on my motorcycle coming through New Mexico. I was north of Interstate 20. I don't remember even the highway, but I could see for 20 miles on either direction of where I was, straight as an arrow down through there. No trees, all rocks, and 98 degrees. I knew that if I had a flat tire, I was effed.
You get road hypnosis.
Yes, you do.
And you find you have snap back into reality, and you wonder how past 10 miles, which is dangerous on a motorcycle.
Going west, the mountains, they were like 20 miles away from me for 50 miles.
Yeah.
They just never got closer.
Nah, and you just get hypnotized. Police in Holmes Beach finally found the rightful owner of a prosthetic ear that washed up on the beach. On just yesterday? Yeah, just yesterday.
Wow.
They found the ear in Florida. It belonged to somebody in South Carolina. A woman called saying the rubber ear that they posted on their Facebook page belongs to her husband. The Beaufort couple, they were vacationing in the Tampa Bay area when the man went swimming. She said he was trying to put his ear in his pocket for safekeeping when a wave knocked it out of his hand. I don't know why you...
I wonder if that's the only prosthetic that's ever been found floating around.
I don't know, but...
I would think people lose legs and arms, prosthetic legs and arms periodically. I don't know, maybe not.
Weird. That would be strange.
Kind of weird.
A local resident found it on the sand on Saturday after the World's Strongest Man contest on Anna Maria Island.
What would you have done if you had come across an ear?
I get they're expensive. I mean, you get into that sort of thing and it gets, I don't know what I'd do with it. I'm not sure I would turn it into the cops. I would think it would, first of all, I wouldn't think it was an important thing. I would think, okay, just some makeup, and I'd probably just throw it away.
The cops called the guy, and he's like, huh? What? Say it louder.
Wow. I'm making fun of this poor man's deformity.
Oh, God bless him.
That is just, you're straight to hell, Ron Phillips, straight to hell. Along the way, make sure that you, in fact, stop by thegunbox.com, get your gun box. Use promo code Mojo50. It's always fun. They're still sold out of the Echo.
Yeah, it's probably a hot seller.
That's the one you can travel with. The 2.0 is available, and when you put it in the checkout cart, a little pop-up will come up, and you will be able to buy a couple of accessories. One of which is the ring, the RFID
you can
ring.
buy the RFID.
Yeah.
Okay,
so you can add that in, and so if you like at night, if you just put the ring on. And then if something happens in the middle of the night, you just literally wave your hand over the gun box and it opens up. I mean, it couldn't be any simpler. And it's just so much fun to put the promo code into the little space there in the checkout and
watch
the money
discount
go
up.
bloop. Knocks $30 off it right there. The gun box is it's not only is it safe, it looks good. You can buy the Kensington lock too for it, the little cord. So you can bolt it down. There's holes in the bottom of it, so you can bolt the thing down to your nightstand if you want to, or you can use one of those Kensington locks. Either way, it's very safe, and it's really quick to get into. So your gun, obviously, if you need your gun, you don't want to have to wait around while you figure out how to open the safe. You just want to be able to open the safe and be done with it, and that is the beauty of the gun box. So go to thegunbox.com and make sure that you use promo code MOJO50, because that way you will get 10% off at thegunbox.com. Let me make sure I can find this before where did I put it? Aha! There it is, which means I can reach over here, push that, and say...
You are now entering Odyssey Station. Please remain seated until docking is complete. Odyssey, dare to wonder.
What's the Monty Python song? Let's pray that there's intelligent life somewhere out in space, because there's bugger all down here on Earth. A massive alien hunt has found no signs of extraterrestrial life in over 1,000 stars closest to Earth. They've been searching and searching. By the way, this is our Odyssey 1 minute. And this is so you are aware of our Odyssey One sister network at odyssey1.com, ODYSY1.com. They've been searching for aliens for centuries. New research reveals that if intelligent extraterrestrial life exists, it's likely not anywhere nearby. Or they're smart enough to hide while we're looking. Did anybody think about that possibility?
There is that. They could be inside the star.
Just saying. I mean, we heard proof earlier this week, or at least the theory, that the sun is hollow. And why wouldn't it be? I mean, prove to me it's not. As part of a decade-long $100 million breakthrough listen initiative funded by Russian billionaire Yuri Milya. Oh, it's the Russians. They're lying. Researchers conducted the most comprehensive search for extraterrestrial intelligence ever undertaken. The team, led by University of California, Berkeley. Aha, there's your Russian collusion. This time they thought it was Trump. It's the UC system out in California. Astrophysicist Danny Pricer looked at 1,327 nearby stars across billions of frequency channels in an attempt to detect signs of intelligent life. They didn't find any. They used the Green Bank Radio Telescope in West Virginia and another one in Australia to scan for techno-signatures, which are transmissions or other evidence of technologically savvy life forms from other worlds. You know, that's the thing about human beings. We are so arrogant to think that, and I guess there's really no other way, so maybe it's not arrogance, but we're the fact that we are looking for somebody to communicate like we communicate.
Right.
How do we know that they're not communicating some other way? Huh?
See, that's the thing. We don't. Isn't this what SETI does? Or is SETI even still a thing anymore?
I think it is.
What is it? The search for extraterrestrial intelligence. Yeah, I mean that. Look, I love the movie Contact. Did you ever see that movie?
Yeah. And the X-Files.
I actually drove by that field with all of the array of the dishes there in New Mexico. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, it's
pretty impressive to see, actually.
But I would think that anybody out there who's got some technological savvy, I think they're looking for us again. Hide. Everybody indoors. Shut the door.
No, not them again.
Yeah.
Crap.
You know, they may have ways of. We have ways of. Our stealth bomber, stealth fighter, they can evade radar and all that detection. So what's to say that these other beings can't? They don't want to be found. We ain't going to find them. No evidence of artificial signals from beyond Earth, but this doesn't mean there isn't intelligent life out there somewhere. We may just not have looked in the right place yet or peered deep enough to detect faint signals. So there you have it. Make sure to visit odyssey1.com. ODYSY1.com and dare to wonder. By the way, the war continues, or the not the war, but I guess the argument is to which is better, Star Trek or Star Wars, or as a Star Wars fan will often call it, Star Trek. God,
yeah, Star Trek.
Insane. It's not Star Trek.
I saw this picture the other day. That's actually pretty cool. I think Russ sent that to us.
There you go. It's on Mars. I think it settles it. That is a Starfleet insignia, and it's on Mars. And William Shatner tweeted out, "Hey, Star Wars, will you hurry up? Will you hurry up your rebel scums? We beat you." University of Arizona published new photo captured by the Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter showing chevron shapes in the southeast Hellas Planitia. It does look like a Starfleet symbol. I mean, there's no denying that. I think that, see, Star Wars and Star Trek, two completely different mindsets. Star Wars is more about the action.
Right.
Star Trek is more about it's the thinkers. It's the thinkers series. Star Wars is just about getting out there and swashbuckling. That's all. All right, back to the Twitter, see what's going on over there. Because otherwise, I'm just going to take a nap. Homeward Bound Onion, what I learned today. We may not be the only form of life in the universe, but we are the only ones that deep fry Twinkies.
Have you ever had a deep fried Twinkie?
I have not had, let's see. No, I've had a deep fried Oreo. Oh, those are, wait a minute. Did I have one in Vegas? No, I think I had the Oreo. I didn't have
All
the
you have to
Twinkie.
do is go to like the Texas State Fair. They're deep frying butter now.
Yeah, well, here, not last year, year before, had the deep fried red velvet cake. Doesn't that sound great? Deep fried red velvet cake? It wasn't. It was like, I don't know what, it just didn't taste as good as I thought it would. How do they deep fry ice cream?
I don't know. I was just about to ask you, how do they deep fry liquid stuff? I mean,
I don't get it
just
either.
like a big glob and throw it in the flour?
I guess. Extraterrestrials, according to TechRoo, have already begun to contact us, but they mistook robocallers offering new lines of credit for our most common form of communication. See, that's it. They come down, they look around, they go, oh, geez. We'll just, we'll come back later when you guys have evolved some more. DMXDM, you turds need to come up to the Iowa State Fair. We got everything deep fried up here. I wonder what is the weirdest thing they have deep fried at a fair. They did have butter at the Texas State.
Yeah, they had butter. Deep fried butter. That's what I want to put in my gut.
Oh, I would try it, absolutely.
Fried fat.
I would absolutely try deep fried butter. But don't you deep fry stuff in butter?
I think that's more oil, right?
I
guess that's what butter.
I don't know. And Mojo Jedi, how do we measure intelligence of other potential life in the universe? That's a really good question, and I don't know the answer to that one. Did Shilva 8-1189, did Real Brad Staggs and Real Ron Phillips just call SETI the Jehovah's Witness of the galaxy? Yep. I had a friend who was an LA County sheriff, and he got so irritated at the Jehovah's Witness every week, knock on his door, and it would wake him up because he worked nights. So he said, finally, I just decided I was going to go to the door basically naked.
Oh, good Lord.
It worked. They never knocked again.
So I remember growing up, Elder Johns and Elder Watkins came by the house. My dad brought them in and schooled them. It was great.
I had a roommate, Mike Cachola is his name, and he was going to seminary, and I think he was going to be a Catholic priest. I don't know if he ever did or not, but he would invite them in. He would invite them in and sit down and talk, and in about 15 minutes, they were looking at their watches going,
we got to get on down the road, sir.
We got to go now.
It's time to go.
Got to go. Before we continue, don't forget the auctions end tonight for the latest round of Doc Thompson stuff on the eBay. And again, we've got a few things left. I think those are going to be. I think we'll do those on the air. The really iconic.
That'll be fun.
Yeah,
just bring them and set them on the table there,
and they should bring big bucks. Got the Chevy Chase T-shirt.
How are we going to do that? I know you had an idea for it.
First person to drive to the studio and hand us a wheelbarrow full of money gets it. I don't know. Does our website have the ability to do its own auction?
No, it doesn't. But I'm trying to think of a way that we can do bids that Didn't we?
I mean, we've done it before. You could just,
Just
either email us or call
text us, and yeah, I guess we did. We did that with
sign up that says what it is, and we could do it up there for like 3 days, and then at the end, we'll try that and see what happens. See, the key to that is you just have to at the beginning just get in a ridiculously high bid that no one will, and that's how you do it. On eBay, it's
that you start everything at $1, right?
Yeah. Except for the Doc Thompson stuff started at $20.
Same as downtown.
Exactly. So that's coming up. Again, those are ending tonight. Don't go to New Orleans for vacation. They say that the, what are they calling these? These skeeter lookalikes? Billions of mosquito lookalikes.
What the hell is a skeeter? Oh, a mosquito.
They look like mosquitoes, but they don't bite.
That's the other thing that North Dakota has. Mosquitoes the size of birds.
You sure they're not mayflies?
I don't know what the hell they are, but they look like mosquitoes.
Mayflies have, I almost feel sorry for them because they look like giant mosquitoes, but they don't bite. They're just irritating and they're stupid and they fly around. And people, they think they're mosquitoes, so they beat the crap out of them.
If you want to see the women in my family dance, let one of those get in a damn house.
Oh, I thought there.
It's hilarious. No, I wasn't about to go.
For $1, you can see them dance. That's one way to make a buck. Yeah, those and
the dogs chomping at them. Women throwing their shoes at them.
You know what's really the hard shell bugs down here? The
June bugs, we call them.
Is that the brown ones?
Yeah.
See,
when you turn on your back porch light, they just show up,
and they're dumber than a box of hammers. They fly into you, they hit you in the head, they end up in the swimming pool, they can't swim.
But you let one land on a woman?
Or you throw one on a woman. Just saying. You want a little fun Friday night entertainment? Throw one on a woman. The aquatic midges in New Orleans are called blind mosquitoes. They don't bite. They're good for the environment, but they tend to emerge in the billions. And they say they show up all at once. They don't last too long, but they say when they're there, it is a living hell because the swarms smell like aquarium seafood. They compare it to the smell of rotting fish. It can be worse inside buildings where they creep through the holes and the cracks, and then they die in droves. They lay their eggs in fresh water, but they like their water polluted. And they said normally Lake Pontchartrain is brackish, but since this season, this spring, it's been receiving Mississippi River water diverted to ease the strain on the levees. So the water is rich with fertilizer and other pollutants. And so, ta-da, you got your aquatic midges in droves. They love to do it in the sewage.
Gross.
Who doesn't love to do it in the sewage?
We've had this conversation before. The worst bug I've ever come across are the love bugs during mating season. I'm going to tell you, those are the worst. If you're a truck driver in Texas, East Texas most specifically, South Texas.
What do the love bugs look like?
They're black and red, connected at the butt. Seriously, they're connected at the butt. And these things are, they just swarm. And when you hit them with your windshield.
Oh, those little nasty.
Oh, my God. They're so, they will cover your windshield where you have to actually get out and literally scrub them off. If you leave them on your vehicle, they will eat through the paint.
So are they like doing it right there?
Yes.
So that
find a vehicle. Just search for a vehicle with love bugs on. I'm telling you, it's the nastiest.
So wait a minute. They do it while they're facing away from each other?
Don't you? No. Yes, that's what.
Damn. Oh wow.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. You get. Yes. Look at that.
Yeah. You're right.
It's so just a pain in the butt.
You don't really want to analyze what's all over the front of your car in this case, do you? Because that would just be woof. That is nasty. That's almost like the grasshoppers out in the Antelope Valley. That they were so thick one day we were driving out in the middle of nowhere, and they were so thick they literally started choking the engine. The engine started to die. They clogged up the air filter that badly. So, strange times. Indeed. Oh, by the way, this is also a very good day. This was the day that the Constitution was ratified. Made it the New Hampshire signed it. New Hampshire signed.
I remember that day.
Yeah, that was a good day, wasn't it?
It was a good day.
That was a good day, and pretty much we're doing our best. I say we, I mean they are doing their best to ignore that tired old document, as the progressives seem to think. Boy, would you be pissed if you were this guy, Amir Mazihala Zadaka.
Yep, I'd be pissed.
He was the winner in 2005 of the Colorado lottery. It was a $4.8 million prize, but he only got a third of it because two other people came forth with winning lottery tickets as well. The trouble is they later found out that those other two winning lottery tickets were bogus. They were forgeries, fakes.
Did they pay out though?
Yes.
Crap.
They paid out to those, and I don't know if they got their. I don't know if the lottery got their money back from the other two, but this guy sued and said, "Look, if they were fake, I should have gotten the whole prize instead of the $568,000 that he did get." And he accepted the prize back then. The court said, "Not tough. You already accepted it, and that's it. We're not giving you the rest of it." I'd be pissed.
Oh, I would be too.
But they said he entered into the contract when he accepted the $568,000, and that's it. The investigation took the criminal investigation. They said 10 years later exposed a scheme to rig lotteries across state lines. His attorney argued that he wasn't paid the correct prize because he wasn't aware that the other tickets were fake, which makes a lot of sense. But they still said, "Nah, too bad."
There's probably a clause in the contract or something.
Yeah, by accepting this, that's it. There's a video that I came across this morning, and take a look at this and see if just get your thoughts on this. This is in England. A woman in a red dress walking across the floor. Guy gets up out of his chair, basically pins her against the column. Did you see what he did to her there?
He did. Then he just escorted her ass straight out.
Yeah, so she walks into this. It's a
Was she a
meeting
protester?
Room.
Boom.
He pins her against the wall, and he grabs her and tosses her butt on out, and obviously he calls security and says, "Get her out of here." So he's one of the ministers in England.
The thing is that nobody else was watching for her to walk by.
Exactly.
He just reached up and snatched her.
Yes, he did. She was a Greenpeace protester, and Mark Field is one of the ministers over there in their government. He has been suspended after he was filmed manhandling a Greenpeace protester at a dinner at Mansion House. This is last night, I guess this happened. And at first you go, "Why, you know what? You can't do that to her." He says, "I didn't know if she was armed. What if she had a gun? What if she had gotten past him and had a gun, pulled the gun out, and started shooting people? Then what would it have been? Well, why didn't he stop her?" But you have somebody like that intruding on your whatever, the dinner, whatever it was. You just don't know anymore. That's the problem. They said several protesters interrupted the black tie event. Chancellor Philip Hammond was giving a speech. Mr. Field referred himself to the Cabinet Police for investigation, apologized unreservedly to the protester. But the fact of the matter is, when you have somebody like this barging in, you don't know what their intentions are. She could have been a crazy... she's a Greenpeace protester. She could have been an armed crazy. And if she had a gun or knives or whatever, or a bomb or you name it, it could have been a lot worse for everyone in that room. There was no security present, they said. He said, "I was, for a split second, genuinely worried she might have been armed. As a result, I grasped the intruder firmly in order to remove her from the room as swiftly as possible." I don't see anything wrong with it. You just don't know. You don't know anymore. And if you don't err on the side of caution.
And the problem is he erred on the side of caution and got popped for it.
Yes.
That would piss me off.
This is crazy. Greenpeace tweeted, update on Greenpeace activist at the Mansion House peaceful protest. She's had a good sleep and is doing fine. We're looking after her. Thanks so much for your love and concern, everyone. We're sharing positive messages with her. You know what? That's just, it's a really stupid thing to do. In this day and age, you cannot do that and not expect some repercussions. That's the bottom line. If you have a chance, please stop by Combat Flip Flops and take a look at their mission to create peaceful, forward-thinking opportunities for self-determined entrepreneurs affected by conflict. Our willingness to take bold risks, community connection, distinct designs, communicate business, not bullets. The guys there have transformed literally a combat boot factory into a factory that makes flip-flops.
And Brad, that what you're showing on the screen there, that's Matthew Griffin during his TED Talk.
Oh, yeah.
And if you have an opportunity to go out and watch this TED Talk.
Yes. It is. I challenge you to watch these guys, and they've got several videos,
and not have a tear come to your eye. Seriously,
yeah, it will get you. And so when you go to Combat Flip Flops, there's that one. Then you can take a look at their other ones. But they've got men's and women's flip flops. You can take your choice there. And for when you buy a pair, they help to educate an Afghan woman. They're spreading education. An educated populace, obviously, is a well-informed populace is quite frankly the enemy of the government. But they're educating these women who in turn educate the kids, and it's hopefully making for a better world. Combat Flip Flops, use promo code MOJO25. Well, that's what I was saying, Mojo25. I don't know why you interrupted me. I had it. Combat Flip Flops. This is your Daily Mojo.
This is the seditious, rabble-rousing, liberty-loving, home of fun, entertaining, and compelling talk. Mojo 50.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. A presidential change of heart. President Trump reportedly gave the go-ahead for limited strikes on Iranian military targets, but later changed his mind. Correspondent Jackie Quinn says the strikes would be in retaliation for Iran's downing of a U.S. Navy drone.
A U.S. official tells the Associated Press that limited strikes on Iran were recommended by the Pentagon among the options for retaliation and would have included targeting radar and missile batteries. But approval was quickly withdrawn. No shots fired, no missiles launched.
And Iran is warning the U.S. against military action.
The Iranians have spelt out their position in a letter sent via Swiss diplomats. It's said to have warned the Americans that they'll be responsible for the consequences of any military action. A foreign ministry official in Tehran was quoted as saying provocative, unthought-out acts would receive a reciprocal response.
The BBC's Alan Johnston, Iran's military claims it tried to warn off the drone, and when the unmanned craft failed to respond, it was shot down. In Philadelphia this morning, the dawn's early light wasn't supplied by the sun. There's a huge explosion and fire that engulfed an oil refinery.
He saw like a light out of the corner of his eye, and he's like, what is that? Look at that. I'm like, the sun's coming up already. And then it started coming up really fast, and it was a massive fireball. Lit up the whole sky, everything.
The blaze, which erupted around 4 a.m., sent massive plumes of thick black smoke billowing into the night sky. No reports of any serious injuries, no evacuations, although nearby residents were told to shelter in place. Wall Street may take a breather this morning following yesterday's rally. Stock futures pointing to a lower open later on. Right now, Dow futures are down about 38 points. S&P futures off 6 points. NASDAQ futures down 27. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Are you tired of high cable TV rates? Sign up for Dish today and get a $500 bonus offer while supplies last. Plus, lock in your price for 2 years guaranteed. Call All-American Dish, your Dish authorized retailer now.
800-570-6630. 800-570-6630. That's 800-570-6630. Offers require credit qualification, 24-month commitment, early termination fee, and e-auto pay. Restrictions apply. Call for details. stockpiles. Having an extra supply of food on hand is just smart. Some people call it prepping. I call it smart. You never know what's going to happen in this world. Go to mypatriotsupply.com. You'll find out a lot of good reasons to have that food and some great prices. mypatriotsupply.com.
Going from A to B may involve X, Y, and Z. Off Track with Whiskey 6, Sundays from 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern from Mojo 50.
If you are trying to quit drinking or doing too many drugs, listen to me. You don't know me and we'll never meet. I had a problem like you once. I drank and used to party a little too much till it got out of control and almost ruined my life. I realized I needed help to fix my problem before it totally destroyed me. If you've tried to fix your drinking and drug problem and you know you can't do it alone, you need to call the National Treatment Advisors. They'll immerse you into a 30-day program to replace your old habits with new habits and totally change your life. And if you have PPO private health insurance, the entire program may be covered. Fix your problem right now before it gets any worse. Get clean. Call now and learn more. 800-296-1252. 800-296-1252. 800-296-1252. 800-296-1252.
If we weren't so bad.
To puppy rape. I like to cuss. Do I want to keep my penis? Cat wants some black titties.
We wouldn't be so good. Mojo 50.
Mothership has landed.
All right, see, here's what we have to do, Brandon. We've got to if you smoke them if you got them.
Okay.
Because the parents are coming over for dinner, and we have to be on our best behavior here in about a minute and a half when we're on Newsmax.
Oh.
So I'm hot boxing the vape device here.
Wait, so what do I have to do? Can I not say things that I usually... Can I just...
Don't show your ass.
I can't be myself?
Right. Well, see what it is.
Like, Brandon, change your entire behavior if you could. Could you just, like, for 1 minute, get it together?
It's like going out on the first date and you're just trying to make
showing up at the house the first
best
night
impression.
You're ordering a salad,
right? Yes.
Even though what you really want is like a double cheeseburger with fry. No, you're gonna order salad.
You want the whole pizza, but you are in fact just getting the salad, and then just nibbling at the salad around the edges. And then when you leave, see, that's when we fire up the Marlboros in the car. So they
hotbox it.
So they don't know that we're smoking either. So it's it's a lot of that.
But as far as everyone is concerned, we are church boys.
Absolutely.
In about 30 seconds here.
That's it. That's the game.
Got it.
That's at least for the first week of dates, and then next week it is Newsmax without pants.
Newsmax without.
That's the
Newsmax After Hours.
That'll be the new network. I'm sure that'll be news to them. All right, smiles, everyone, smiles.
The mothership has landed.
Yeah, it's the end of a week, and I know that everybody, all the Chris Salcedo fans are. Oh man, this is that moment where they turn on the television and they go, "Oh, he's still not there." And they click.
Sorry, everyone.
Give us a chance. We're gonna behave. We are the Daily Mojo from Mojo 50. It was Doc Thompson's legacy project. He left us with a whole lot of work, and so we're sitting in this week for Chris Salcedo. Brandon Morse is over there.
How you doing?
Ron Phillips is behind the glass.
Hey.
You're not supposed to be vaping right now, Ron. You're supposed to be putting your best foot forward.
I thought we agreed that we'd be on our best behavior.
Right. Wore pants and everything.
What was this entire speech?
I
know. We talked about this.
Brandon,
Ron
don't
is
do
such
anything
a rebel. Ron is
that will
such
embarrass
a
us.
rebel. I know, but we don't want to embarrass Chris. That's the whole thing. And as soon as we let him out of the trunk, he'll know.
I would never want to embarrass Chris.
I'm Brad Staggs, and apparently we have an entire agency in the government. The not only is the Customs and Border Patrol Agency, but also the Immigration and Customs Enforcement Agency, that full of racists and probably homophobes at the same time. They have declared that hundreds of migrants who were part of the U.S.-bound caravans carried serious criminal convictions. This is according to an investigation from the Department of Homeland Security. I mean, the discoveries were detailed in a letter from members of the House Committee on the Oversight and Reform obtained by the Daily Caller News Foundation. Out of nearly 8,000 members within a caravan that reached south of California in October 2018, they found 660 already had run-ins with the law. 40 were convicted of assault or aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. 3 of them convicted of murder, and so on.
This is the government just catching up to what we were already knowing about, since members of the caravans have been saying for the longest time, yes, there are criminals among us.
Are you sure they're just not a bunch of... They hate Mexicans, they hate Hondurans, they hate...
Pretty much anyone. It's like a horrible xenophobia that's happening right now. It's like, oh, you are not like me, and therefore you are absolutely a criminal. I bet that you kick boxes of puppies.
Yeah. Yes. I mean, it's so the fact of the matter is, I mean, this totally when the president said, look, we got murderers, rapists, and everything coming across the border. Not all of them. But
of
everybody
course, not all of them
jumped all over him.
But even logistically, if we're really going to break this down, think about it. All right, we've got a bunch of kids that are being taken to the border right now with parents that aren't their parents.
Right. Yes.
That are participating in the child trafficking and sex trafficking and drug trafficking trades. All right. Clearly, there are criminals amongst them. All right. This is logistics. That's all that is. All right. It's undeniable that there is a problem amongst them.
And they're clever. They are clever when it comes to the optics, because if they can continue that narrative, all they got to do is watch the news, watch CNN. They go, right. All right, we just grab a couple of kids down here, although they say it in Spanish, and then we'll travel across the border. And we don't want to. These aren't our kids anyway. So when we get separated, we'll go, oh no,
exactly.
El niños, they do, and then they walk away, and the families have been separated.
Right, and here's the bad part about that is, we should be absolutely infuriated by this.
Yes.
Right? The fact that anyone would take a child and use them for a trade of any kind. All right? But we're not. Right now, we're completely lost over a narrative that we're fighting over one another well, there's nothing wrong with them. They're just seeking asylum. No. Many of them are not. If they were seeking asylum from their countries, they would have stopped in Mexico.
Yes.
They didn't stop in Mexico.
It's the oldest magician trick in the book.
Right. And
watch what I'm doing over here.
Exactly.
And not what I'm doing over here.
In the meantime, the trafficking is continuing, and the Democrats are essentially letting it happen for narrative purposes against Republicans. That's sick.
And it's pervasive in the mainstream media. It is amazingly effective.
Oh yeah, no.
I mean, it really is stunning. By the way, if you want to join the program, the phone number is 202-900-5900. Brandon, tell them what that spells.
That spells a word.
Right. Yes, exactly.
That is a common phrase.
Yes.
That I know.
Right. And your job as you dial that number is to tell us what it spells.
I know it. I'm just making sure that you know.
Exactly.
That you can tell me.
202-900-5900. There was a major victory for religious freedom from the Supreme Court. All these decisions being handed out. The Peace Cross War Memorial. They have found that can remain. That can remain it was a World War II monument, essentially.
Yeah.
It's the Bladensburg Cross. And you have to take yourself back, 100 years, 100 some odd years. This was a memorial put up to the men and women who fought for the country, fought for freedom.
Right.
And then I mean, I can't imagine that 100 years later that the people who put that monument up, if they knew what was happening today, you're arguing what? That we can't have what?
Yeah.
It made no sense.
This is unappreciativeness brought on by ignorance.
Yes.
Due to the fact that we are spoiled. Did you know?
Completely.
People died so that we could have, iPhones and the internet, yada, 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 and complain all day. And then get mad at the littlest thing. That we are so spoiled that we get mad. Our first world problems have become like life or death situations.
Isn't that the truth? John Adams, boy, did he have some foresight. Our Constitution was made for a moral and religious people. It is wholly inadequate to the government of any other. And ta-da! Wow. Did he have... John Adams may have been able to see the future because he... I
think they all did. For some,
yeah, no kidding. It really... I mean, when you...
Everything even down to the idea of the Electoral College. It's like, how did you know? How did you know?
How? Yeah, I mean, wouldn't it have been fascinating to be, and I, the closest you can get obviously is to read everything that they wrote, but it's amazing when you think about all of the contingencies that they took into account,
right,
when writing the Constitution, and it's stunning.
Oh no, it absolutely is.
It is absolutely amazing, and if it wasn't divinely inspired, I'd be stunned.
Yeah.
I mean, it's in other words, Americans, and this, by the way, this is this was an op-ed, I think, written by Kelly Shackelford over on Fox. In other words, Americans have always been a religious people with such a religious heritage. No one should be surprised to see religious symbols mixed with secular throughout the public square.
Mm-hmm.
And it's true. And again, it's the left wants to, you're going to see things our way, but heaven forbid that they should agree with anything that we do.
They forget that our nation was founded on the basis of the Judeo-Christian religion. And one of the things that they pushed very, very hard, the founding fathers, was that you adopt this religion because it is the path to success.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And not just, I mean, like in a spiritual sense. I mean, like literally in the monetary and cultural
we will we'll continue this discussion in just a second. We've got phone lines are filling up, and we will get to your phone calls here. It is the Daily Mojo filling in for Chris Salcedo this week on Newsmax. Appreciate you being here. Don't forget to follow us on social media. We'll give you those words and numbers coming up here in just a second when we return. This is your Daily Mojo Newsmax.
You're clear.
And now we have 3 minutes to talk to the jackals and smoke them if you got them.
Okay. Oh, man.
Pop some pills, drink a beer.
I cannot believe.
I know, right?
How much I am keeping it together right now,
See?
Brad. I haven't said one dirty joke.
I know.
One.
It's like, I feel like I need to throw out just a line of cuss words.
I need a shower from my cleanliness. If that makes any sense.
I was thinking maybe you're going to need somebody to film that. I could film it.
Well, I mean, maybe you could.
I just say
if we put it on the internet, we could probably make a decent buck.
Make a buck or two.
Yeah, why not?
Denny says, when you try to talk to coyotes about child trafficking, they immediately change the subject to the weather.
El Nino.
Thank you. Hold on there. There's, damn it, I really have to get a new drummer here.
Man, the call lines really do
yes.
light up there.
See? Wow. I'm telling you, and I've been explaining to the jackholes as we have to expand our horizons and well, why do we have to behave? But here's why you have to behave, because again, it's the first date.
Yeah,
this is the first show date. Them everything.
Yeah, otherwise
that's crazy.
They'll think you're crazy. Exactly.
You wait until we get married, and then we bring out all the bad habits,
or at least until you're 6 months into the relationship. Then you can really bring. Well, maybe even 3 months. I feel like there's like a 3-month thing.
Time is flying so quickly. I say wait a week, and then we can do it. So technically, after this week,
life is short.
Yes, boy is it.
Yeah, life is short.
And Stinky just said, "Oh my gosh, I found you guys are on my TV."
Yeah, we look pretty good. Did you see? Look at me. Oh yeah.
I hate looking at myself. I hate pictures of me. I hate me on TV. I hate all that. And Shulva 8-1189 Newsmax or not, you will not take Pantless Friday away from me. And no, that is not our intention whatsoever. It is not about taking it away. It's about saving a surprise.
Mm-hmm.
It's you got to save something for the wedding night.
Mm-hmm.
Because otherwise, I mean, if it's the free milk and a cow thing, you got to save.
You take her like to her suite. You carry the bride across the threshold, and it's like, surprise! Yes. I'm a dude, and then
I mean, then wasn't really the surprise I was looking for, but I guess that would. That would be a surprise.
But at least it's keeping you on your toes in the relationship.
Ron just told. Could everybody hear you when you said that? Oh. So you see. Well, that's.
It's just it was so loud in my ear.
Yes, it did. I think my eardrums are bleeding.
Ron, it was so loud I couldn't even hear myself think.
Ron, we'll give you a lesson in how this all works here after the program, and then we'll clear things up. But I'll have my finger on the button.
Yeah, don't worry, kids.
We're kind of like.
Take 2.
We're kind of like.
Take 3.
We're kind of like Grindr for Mojo Sexuals. Mojo 50. I can't do that with a straight face.
I always feel compelled to explain what Grindr is after that one. But I'll just let it go. Your Daily Mojo filling in for Chris Salcedo this week, and Chris is on his way back, as far as you know. In the meantime, Real Brad Staggs on Twitter, the Brandon Morse over here from redstate.com. Real Ron Phillips in there, who we're still training on radio. He's still wearing his radio training wheels. We'll get him there.
Yeah.
We will get him there. It just takes a while.
He's trying, and that's what I appreciate about him.
Yes. He is a trier. Lauren is from Minnesota. Wants to talk about the border crisis. For a second there, I thought it said border cross, and I thought we were conflating our stories. Lauren, morning. Apparently,
saying that the president manufactured the crisis on the border. But the only thing that's manufactured is the Democrats. They're made out of a completely different substance than the rest of us.
Repeat that first part. I couldn't hear you. I think we had it down there. You're saying that
the Democrats say that the president has created the crisis on the border, and he's manufactured, and the only thing that's manufactured is the Democrats. They're made out of a completely different substance than the rest of us.
Yeah, no, I think you're absolutely right. I mean, that's the thing is now. I mean, at least now they have the proof after this study done by the Department of Homeland Security, which backs up what the president said. Which is why you will not see this. You won't see this report widely distributed.
No, of course not. Anything to avoid saying that, hey, Trump was right. Because that would be so damaging to the narrative of Trump is always wrong no matter what.
They will bury it, and you won't hear about it.
Exactly.
It's truly amazing. But their tactics are quite effective, especially when you're dealing with the low information voters. And if they can get the narrative in there and they repeat it often enough. Wasn't that Goebbels that said that?
I think it was actually.
Yeah.
If you repeat a lie often enough, it'll become true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and he was right.
He wasn't wrong.
No. David's in Minnesota. David, good morning.
Good morning. Hey, love your show. Say, you see all this videotape of all these younger, able-bodied men crossing the border looking for asylum. I say you can get asylum, but you have to earn it by joining one of the military forces for 4 years. If you successfully do that, then you can become an automatic citizen.
I've thought about that myself, actually.
I've heard that
a few times, and I kind of wonder if it would really depend on the length of time. And I would say a minimum of 5 years in the military. And I feel like even still, that might be... Because think about how long it really takes for many people to become citizens of the United States.
Yes. Oh, yeah, absolutely. There's no doubt the system needs
It is
reforming.
longer than 5 years.
Yeah.
So I would say 5 years in the military to instill kind of like a... Because I feel like if it's just 1 year, that's like, all right, yeah, I'm in and out and I'm on with my life.
Yeah.
It doesn't really instill any kind of sense of patriotism or anything like that. You really don't get appreciation for the country that you're now fighting for. If you spend 5 years of your life dedicated to making sure that the country that you want to move to is something you're that dedicated to moving to and supporting and being a part of, then I'm all for it.
Yeah.
But it has to be a substantial amount of time.
Yeah, it really does. David, thank you for the phone call. And that's the thing. It's human nature. For whatever reason, people do not appreciate things that they have not had to pay for.
Yeah.
In one sense or the other. I mean, whether it's monetary or whether it's physical labor, whatever it is, people just tend not to appreciate things that they haven't had to sacrifice anything
that they
for.
haven't earned.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what it is. I mean, look, I think that migrants coming here is a great thing.
Yes.
We are a country of migrants. That is true.
Absolutely.
That is true. However, I do think that right now, due to our system, look, back in the day, all right, back in like before the 1900s, 1920s and stuff like that.
I thought you were going to say back before the year 2000 because that's
back before
back in my day.
Back in my day. No, the entire thing was you came to America because you wanted to make something of yourself.
Yes.
Right? There was no entitlements in place at the time. All right. You could move here and start your life. Now you move here and now you have to be a part of the tax system, the entitlements that you may earn because most of the people who move here are very poor and they qualify for that. We cannot handle the amount of weight that is being put on us.
No. It's overtaxing the system, literally, quite literally. And can you imagine if the progressive movement had been present during the days of Ellis Island?
Oh,
and,
yeah.
Oh, the children were being separated from their parents and parents being separated from... That's because they had diseases.
Exactly.
And we didn't want them transferred to the population.
Right.
And there was a reason for all of these things.
Right. And today, I mean, it's still... that more or less hasn't changed, but now we're also up against the fact that some of these people might be essentially kidnapping these children for profit. And we have to separate them and make sure that they're legitimate.
If it really is about the children, then you have to look at why the kids are being separated from their parents, if they even are being separated from parents at the border. If they're being separated from their kidnappers, you should be celebrating that. It's the problem is that after a while you just get exhausted. Explain. There are none so blind as those refuse to see.
Brad, it's because what we're saying is pure logic.
Yeah,
this is logical, and it sucks to have to explain something that should be it's right in front of your nose. It should be very easily self-explainable, but they're not seeing it, and you're having to explain reality to someone. And there's nothing more exhausting than having to explain reality to someone who refuses to see it.
Never try to teach a pig to sing. It only frustrates you and irritates the pig. Ian is on Long Island. Good morning, Ian.
Good morning, fellas. I would just like to say that, this is what science and liberals, this is what they have to do. Kill in God we trust. Kill the cross. And then when they get rid of it, just remember, it's just a blob of tissue. It's not a baby being murdered. It's just a blob of tissue. So when they can erase God out of the equation, the miracle of life and everything to do with, being born, then that's why they're attacking it, because they think they know better. But there's going to be a reckoning one day, and it'll be when they're gone from this earth, and they'll see that. That's why they live with these. They're haunted by their decisions in life, a lot of them, and they change their ways. And I would like to say that there was divine inspiration in our forefathers knowing, and also a bit of knowing history and having a tyrannical government push you around when you didn't have a gun and they had guns. So they sort of understood from whence they came, and they also definitely had God on their side, because how could a nation be born so young and come up with so much good for the world? That's America. That's exactly what America is, and it can only be one reason that happened, and that's God. And when you trust in the Lord with all thine heart, you lean on to your own understanding, you acknowledge Him in all thy ways, then He'll direct their path. And if they can kill that, and you're just a blob of tissue, and it's not really a big deal in abortion, but it's not abortion, it's not infanticide, it's straight up murder. And now with Northam, we found that you'll be born. We'll talk to the parents and resuscitate the kid if you want, and then we'll have a discussion on what we'll do, on how you're going to pull the plug on this child that's on the earth. And it's so funny because it's quite hypocritical that all these people born, their parents made the right decision, had them, put them on the earth, but they want to deny that to some other baby, to some other baby girl, to some other baby boy. So that's quite hypocritical. And if your parents would have chose to have an abortion, you wouldn't have been here railing about murdering children.
That's absolutely right. Ian, thank you for the phone call. I appreciate that.
Did you hear about the Cleveland Clinic?
Well said, by the way. Nothing I can add.
Did you hear about the Cleveland Clinic that successfully performed the first in utero surgery to repair spina bifida?
When was that recent? Or
That was very recent, actually.
Because it was something. I'm thinking of something else that happened a couple of years ago. But
Yeah, it's the first successful surgery. I believe it was performed on Wednesday for the first time. And
on a spinal column.
Yes, it's spina bifida is a is a bad birth defect, right? And they are now able to repair that in utero.
Wow,
which is amazing. That they would spend that much time and effort to help something that is really just a big ball of cells, Brad.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, I wanted to say something about Ian, the last caller. I understand that he has the record now at Newsmax for being on every show in one day. Good caller.
Good
Thanks,
for
Ian.
him. And a great accent. I love a good
Setting
New York.
a great example.
Good New York accent. I love that. And obviously well informed. Let's see. It's funny. The note. Mike is from Ohio, and the note is enjoys the show. I question his taste here. Mike, how are you?
I'm fine. My taste is pretty good, actually. But I just, with the last caller, I think the thing that we need to really understand is that God gave us these rights. The government did not give us these rights.
Exactly.
And it says so in the Declaration of Independence. And I think that's the point that needs to be made.
That is actually one of the other genius things about what the Founding Fathers did, is they put the rights that we have out of the reach of government, like, and not just, I mean, they put it out of the physical reach of the people, that they, by putting it on God. And you can't defy God. God is the ultimate power. He is infallible. If he gave us these rights, they cannot be taken from us. And that was part of their genius. They knew what they were doing by putting the securing or taking away of these rights out of the government's hands, which is easily corruptible. It's genius.
Well, when you believe that you get your rights from the government, you also have to believe the government can take your rights away. And that is where you run into a huge problem. Mike, appreciate the phone call. Thank you. And the check's in the mail. Check's in the mail. We're going to be talking to Adam Brandon from Freedom Works come up here in just a second. We've just have a couple of seconds. Now, I was going to take another phone call, but we really don't have time. So we're going to be talking to Adam Brandon here in just a second. Again, we are your Daily Mojo. Brad Staggs here, Brandon Morse there, Ron Phillips over there. We are filling in for Chris Salcedo. He returns on Monday, so all will be as it should be here at Newsmax.
You're clear.
If we were clear, no one could see us, Ron. No
Same joke every day. Same joke.
That is so
every
lame.
day.
When you find
like even for dad jokes, that's just horrific.
When you find a joke that works, I say stick with it.
But does it work though? That's the problem, Brad. Did it work?
Absolutely.
Do you feel good after telling that joke?
Absolutely.
I'm so ashamed of you right now. Ashamed.
What is it? JR15. I'm calling BS.
So 2 for 2. What the hell is happening? I'm calling BS. That last call was way too young. He still has teeth.
Yep.
We still have Suspicious Package Friday today.
I know. See, and we've got Netflix and chill coming up.
Yeah,
so we can smoke them if we got them. We're going to be drinking. I mean, it's pretty amazing.
I'm actually, I'm proud. I'm proud of the jackholes and the listeners and stuff like. Because I mean, I actually expected that to drop off after I.
Oh no! It's you mean the calls?
Went and visited Doc in Florida for a while.
Well, no, it's I mean they keep right on coming.
Oh yeah.
See, it's a middle
Good
hour.
job,
last hour,
guys.
Normal, merciless, making fun of the second hour. Smacking Duck. Sorry, I was reading under my breath. Smacking Duck says it's only the middle hour. The last hour is both packed to normal and merciless, making fun of the second hour. like I said, we got to get in front of that the big audience because the clock is ticking.
Yep. Crusader Vol said, Brad Staggs, well played on the dad joke. It was bad, but well played. I guess, to be honest with you, the true score of a dad joke is how bad it is.
Yes.
So I guess on the scale, you scored high there.
I try.
That was a real groaner.
I see. That's almost a bell.
Like I hated it. I'm shaking my head.
It almost works,
and I loved it.
See, and by the way, the jackals get to hear us talk about the rich solution too.
Oh, I can't wait to hear about the Rich Solution.
The Rich Solution and the Doc Thompson Daily Healthy Lifestyle Challenge, or the Daily Health Style Challenge. Either way you want to look at it, it's over on the Facebook page. People are getting healthy. They are the smoothie. They were going through a smoothie phase last time I checked. They were sharing smoothie recipes.
That's what I'm all about, the smoothie life.
It's the modern day equivalent of going next door to borrow a cup of sugar. No one does that anymore. I mean, you always see in those old TV shows where people, hey, yeah, can I borrow a cup of flour?
Mm-hmm.
Does no one goes next door to borrow anything anymore? It's all done online. I want to borrow that recipe. It's right there. You don't have to write it down, anything.
I think we also distrust our neighbors quite a bit now.
That's true. I think my neighbor could be a serial killer. So
I think mine is a serial killer. He's way too nice.
See, you don't want to borrow stuff from him because they're probably trying to poison you.
I hate the fact that that's the kind of world I live in now.
I know, right?
It's like, hey, Brandon, how's it going? You doing okay?
You. Do you actually know any of your neighbors?
I met them. I cannot remember their names to save my life.
I think I know the people on the right-hand side. When I
You
say
think
no,
you do.
I think I know their
You
names.
think you do, Brad.
I have no idea who they are, nor do I know who the people are behind me. Let's see. In front. Nope, I don't know any of my neighbors.
I would
2 years.
I would love to actually live in a time where, like, my neighbors and I, our friends, we come over and have barbecues, discuss lawn care.
That world is dead.
That world is dead.
That
now.
world is dead. Bury it.
All of my friends are now digital people online.
It's alive at therichsolution.com and in the Doc Thompson Healthy Lifestyle Challenge. That's the only place that you'll find that world still alive and well.
Ouch, Mojo Jedi. What the hell?
Exactly. 2 seconds. All right, smiles and pants, everyone.
Rebel rousers, instigators, troublemakers, freaks, agitators, fanatics, scallywags, mutants, scamps, firebrands, rogues, scoundrels, mojo sexuals, Mojo 50.
You see, here's the funny thing. By the way, we are your Daily Mojo, and we're filling in for Chris Salcedo this week. And so you're catching us on our best behavior. So we are a little edgier over at our home base. So if you decide to sample us, just be prepared. Just gonna say it. I mean, I'm not saying don't do it. I'm just saying be prepared. I mean, we're all adults here, right? That's the important thing, and we all believe in the same thing. We are we kind of approach life from a libertarian conservative standpoint. You do your thing, I'll do mine. Just leave me alone. Get off my lawn. That's
Hippity hoppity, get off my property.
Yes, exactly. Joining us on the Newsmax line right now is Adam Brandon from Freedom Works. How are you, sir?
Doing all right. Man, your philosophy is deep this morning. Get off my lawn.
Exactly. It's simple. It's to the point. You don't mess with me, I won't mess with you.
It's relatable.
It is.
What else do we need to say? I think you just encapsulated America right there.
That's the new libertarian tagline.
Yeah, exactly.
The porcupine went under it. Get off my lawn.
Yes, that's it. I mean, if you want to do your thing, that's fine, as long as your thing stays on your side of the line and doesn't affect my stuff over here. So I was over at Freedom Works. I was watching one of the Freedom Files. What a great concept, Adam, first of all, and I didn't know if you wanted to talk about something else, but the fact the stories that you're sharing, why don't you go ahead and explain what they're about, these stories.
I love my job, and that's
I love your job too.
It's just fun, and every week I get to have conversations with different people. Actually, today we're going to record an episode where I'm bringing on a 3-time Super Bowl champion, a guy who won 3 Super Bowls with the New England Patriots, who's going to be dropping by, and he's a conservative. His name is Gerard Cherry. And so what I want to do is just share with the Freedom Works activist community, these conversations I have with everyone from an NFL player to a congressman to a head of a different think tank. And because, hey, my job's cool, and it's fun to talk to these different people and get their perspectives on liberty and hearing deep perspectives of getting off my lawn. So that's that's what I try and do every week with the Freedom Files.
Well, and on a couple of these episodes, and I don't know if you're going to continue this down the road, but you're dealing with some of the youths of America who they are youths of America now, but they have come from places where socialism is the rule of the land, and they share their experiences with the socialist and the communist forms of government, it is not nearly as pretty as the Bernie Sanderses of the world make it out to be.
Yeah.
You know, I spoke with a young lady from Nepal, and there was a civil war, and she was literally kidnapped by communist forces.
Wow.
And I'm just sitting there talking to her about freedom and liberty, and I'm talking to someone who was actually kidnapped and ransomed. I remember talking to a young man from Venezuela, someone from Ukraine, all these places, and they come to the United States and they hear all these kids talking about socialism, and their minds get blown.
Yeah.
Like, you know, socialism.
It's got to be heartbreaking to hear, you know, from his perspective. Because you got to think that these kids are essentially celebrating and cheering on the thing that made his life a living hell for a while.
Well, the Venezuelan literally he had to go hide in people's backyards and in cellars to get out of the country. And, I mean, that's socialism.
Yeah. God, that's so sad.
How have we in this country gotten to a point where the socialist even the carrot at the end of the stick being socialism, how have we gotten to a point where that is even remotely attractive?
You know, I think we've been a very successful country. And I was in a meeting a few weeks ago, and I had some of my younger staff in there, and I'm talking to someone, and I mentioned the fall of the Berlin Wall, and I realized my young staff that I work with at FreedomWorks, they don't remember the fall of the Berlin Wall.
Mm-hmm.
So I think you're dealing with a whole generation that just never got to live in a world where socialism was a real thing. It's something that happens in weird countries over there.
Yeah.
And so when you hear about it, it sounds cool. But that's my hope for the future, is that I think people who are running around talking about socialism is really cool, they have no idea what they're actually talking about. And they're actually free market people. They just don't even realize it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I was just saying this earlier. You know, we've been so spoiled by our capitalistic lifestyle. We're so first world integrated that we don't know what it's like to live in that kind of hellscape. The thing that I think is really going to solve these kinds of problems and basically keep the idea that socialism and communism is bad fresh in our minds is shows like Chernobyl.
Yes.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes.
I think that because Chernobyl, man, I have never seen a better display in recent memory about how, like, as far as entertainment purposes go, about how bad communism is and what it can do to people.
Yeah. And the good news is that show has become the number one rated show on IMDb.
Yeah, and it needs to be.
75,000 different reviews of it. And I think that what it did, it's opened a lot of eyes to what that sort of government does. It's dangerous at best.
Yeah.
But when you have that as the reality, what you have in our political system over here, in at least this campaign season, is the free stuff.
Yeah.
Free. I mean, free that's always been in radio. That's always been the mantra. If it's free, it's for me. But the thing is, there's nothing free.
Yeah.
And that's what these kids don't understand.
In the late 1990s, I actually spent some time living over in Eastern Europe. And it was a remarkable time to be there. And I remember staying and living in these old communist blocks where the hallways smelled like cat urine and everything was concrete and gray. And then you come to a country like I come back to the United States where you have bright colors and windows and things are just a little brighter and shinier. And that, to me, I just think about, man, so communism really was psychological warfare on your own population.
Absolutely.
So shows like Chernobyl show it.
It's really frightening. What else is happening over at FreedomWorks, and how can people get involved over there?
I just ask people, our most active community is now the community on Facebook, 5 million people strong. If you're on Facebook, go to FreedomWorks, or if you're on the web, go to freedomworks.org, freedomworks.org. We're working on everything from trying to stop socialized medicine to I've been spending some time supporting term limits these last few days. We work on the fiscal conservative libertarian side of things, and I'm really optimistic about where we're going. I know we have a big election coming up here in 2020, but I'm fired up for what again, when we talk about socialism right now, it's amazing to me that when you get the message out there about liberty, we can sell this and we can win in the long run. And that's what I'm just trying to do, is build a big community where people can come together and fight for their liberty.
Well, and when you have the face of Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez over there as on the progressive side, and she garners so much attention. It doesn't matter what she's doing. She's taking out her trash. There are people there just damn near worshiping her. And what do you think that when she makes these, I'm not going to say incendiary, but these certainly fantastic statements, do you think she's trolling, or do you think she really believes these asinine things that she says?
I think she believes it. And when you're talking about her going out to taking her trash out, all I can think about is the live streams of Beto O'Rourke getting his teeth cleaned. I mean, these are the people that we're up against these days. But, I literally think they believe it, and I think it's an echo chamber where it's like, I'm going to say something outrageously stupid, and yeah, that's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
And there's enough people on Twitter who are saying, like, wow, take all my money and all my possessions.
Yeah.
That sounds great.
Wow.
The comparison that I made was, I mean, lately with her little comparisons of the concentration camps to the holding areas that we have to use because there's an overflow at the border due to a crisis that they don't want to admit. She's sitting there saying this stuff. She's clearly wrong. The planet Earth is busy telling her wrong. She's wrong. However, her media, which is just way too... It's defending her because they're scared, by the way. They've openly admitted they're scared. And look what happened to, who was it, Chuck Todd yesterday?
Yes, he dared question her.
Yeah, exactly. Her fans and the media become rabid. Jon Snow from Game of Thrones, where it's like, dude, she's wrong. She's completely wrong. She is McQueen.
Yeah. It's crazy. It's crazy.
That's what it boils down to right now.
Adam Brandon is, again, the president of FreedomWorks. So you'll find him over there at freedomworks.org if you want to take part and join the mission of FreedomWorks as well. Adam, thank you for being here, and we'll talk again soon.
I look forward to it. It's been a lot of fun.
You got it.
Take care.
All right. It really is crazy. I mean, when Ocasio-Cortez comes out and says, what was it this morning or yesterday? The president needs to put away your sabers. What you need to do is pick up a telephone and call. It's diplomacy.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's Iran. I don't know if you checked your map or not, but we've got to take a break. We will be back. This is your Daily Mojo, sitting in for Chris Salcedo on Newsmax.
Clear?
Ron, if we were clear.
Oh, my God.
I hate you so much.
Did you go? Oh, you
There's
didn't go.
Nothing good about who you are or what you do.
Except for that one thing.
Except for that one thing.
One thing.
Brings me back every time.
When we were in D.C. at Freedom, where they have nice offices over there in D.C.
Yeah, they do. I've actually been there.
Yeah, we did the election coverage there, and it was that was the trip where I roomed with Doc, and first of all, the guy was always cold.
Yeah,
I'm so cold. I'm cold. So the room was like, ugh. The room was like a sauna. And but I got him back because I had my headphones and my white noise.
Yeah.
And he didn't have any earplugs. And I snore, ironically, like a freight train. So it was fun payback. You want the room hot? I don't know if I talk in my sleep or not.
Man, it has been last night we had to turn down the thermostat to like 66.
I know, just to get it to a temperature where you could actually.
That was tolerable.
Yeah. It's I'm pretty sure that the door
Texas
to
weather, man.
The door to hell has opened. Someone has left the door open and the heat is seeping in.
Oh yeah, no, it's definitely Texas. Texas has the benefit of being like bordered by two different types of ecosystems.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you have the desert on the west side.
Yep.
You have the swamp on the right side, and we're stuck in the middle with you.
Yeah, that's true.
We get like the best of both worlds, you know, and it's just so humid. It's so humid in Dallas right now. I stepped outside to take my dogs to the restroom.
Yes.
And
they have a restroom? They don't just go on the grass?
No, actually, they have toilets and stuff.
Oh, very nice. Very nice.
Yeah,
high class, highfalutin.
They really are.
Nice.
I was out there for maybe 2 minutes. It was nighttime. I wasn't even doing anything too
yeah.
physical, and I started sweating. I had to come inside and take a shower.
Yeah.
Before I got in bed.
It was so brutally hot. I brought one of my projects into the kitchen and sat it on the kitchen. I'm in there drilling and painting and doing stuff inside in the kitchen instead of outside in the shop because it was so incredible. So when there's sawdust in the food later, it's my fault.
It is filling, though.
It is. You know what? If you want to lose weight, eat sawdust.
Yeah, seriously.
It will fill you up. Ron, you're looking at us like you have something important to say, which would be a change. No one can hear you when you say it that way. I'm going to take, really?
Yeah, please.
Really?
Please.
Okay. All right, I'll do that. I was going to
We need that one.
I was going to take caller 2, but I'll take caller 3 because I'll take 3 and then 2.
3 is a lucky number.
3 is a lucky number.
Yeah.
We'll see. All right. So, all right, everybody. Tighten up.
Get in order. Mojo 50. The question isn't who's going to let us. The question is who's going to stop us.
All right, so I'm Brad Staggs. That's Brandon Morse. Ron Phillips is over there. He's our intern, and one day we're teaching him radio. We're filling in for Chris Salcedo on Newsmax. Nobody noticed my new hat.
Keep America great.
Thank you.
I like that.
I don't know.
Oh, you got the hat.
You didn't notice either.
I didn't notice it. That's fantastic.
I'm telling you.
Great hat.
Now I'm debating whether to wear it out in public because I'm really I don't go looking for a fight. But it will be interesting to see if wearing this one out in public gets people, your hat, and then throwing stuff on me. So
I like the idea that, because in our day and age, this is what we've come to, that you can't wear a hat.
I know.
That says, keep America great, without getting like a milkshake thrown on you.
I know. It truly is stunning that we've come to this point in society. Terry and Jim from Illinois say they are enjoying the Daily Mojo. And we say in return, the check is in the mail. Terry, Jim, hello.
Hi. We're glad you're on the air, and we definitely hope that there'll be a spot on Newsmax where you won't just be filling in for someone when you will be on there permanently.
If
we're hoping.
If the fans demand it.
Well,
you never know what might happen.
And I'd just like to thank my sister for calling in and saying that this morning.
Thanks, Mom.
See, I wasn't going to say Mom because then that would, at my age, that would put you way over the top. So I didn't want. Thank you for saying that, Terry. Appreciate that. And Chris Salcedo is the one who asked us to come on board and do this. And we're just doing our best not to embarrass Chris and keeping the chair warm.
You're doing a great job. And, Chris has a second show, a repeat of his show in the morning later in the day. And so I think that would be an ideal spot for you guys to fill.
Well, thank you very much.
Wow. That's
thank you.
I'm blushing. Thank you, Terry. Appreciate the phone call. Really do. So we'll knock Chris out of his seat. Dwarf Clone is in Florida, and Dwarf Clone is for those who are unfamiliar, he is what one of our group of audience, our group of trained monkeys that we like to call, or they have called themselves, the Jackhole Nation. And so Dwarf Clone, welcome to the program.
I'm a grumpy cat, not a monkey.
Well,
first off,
either way, we're glad that everybody's behaving. But what's going on?
Real quick, Brandon, you want to experience heat? Try Florida, where you break a sweat just jogging your memory.
Thank you.
Well done.
The reason I called was the reason I called was people forget about the Ellis Island period when we had a lot of Europeans migrating to America. Over 40% of them self-deported. They would come here, they'd try, and then they'd go home.
Really?
And why?
Yes.
Well, why did they do that?
Yeah.
They couldn't make it. They came here for the streets paved with gold, and then they found out that they had to mine the gold.
Yeah. Right. Well, and now obviously, when you find out you have to mine the gold, all you do is fill out the form, and you get government assistance.
They have it given to you. I did not know about that.
Things have changed.
Yes, they have.
Things have changed. Everybody comes here and they expect everything to be handed to them. Back then, they come looking for an opportunity, and if they failed, they went home.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I didn't know that there was also an exodus of migrants.
Yeah, it does make sense because, again, it was, as I like to say, it was a simpler time. And you had people who really they didn't want assistance. Gangs of New York, I love that film simply because it really does, and I know there's probably some Hollywood liberties taken in there, but when you look at how some of these other ethnic groups, and even like the Irish, holy cannolis, Irish were treated like crap in this country when they got here. They didn't give up. And I mean, it really is. It's fascinating, the history of people immigrating to this country. And again, we don't hate immigrants. Just go through the system. And does the system need reform? Absolutely. But it's the system we have right now. So go through legal channels. So, Dwarf Clone, thank you for calling. Appreciate it.
Thanks, guys. Have a great weekend.
You betcha. Bill is in Florida, and I have a feeling Bill was at the rally on Tuesday. Were you there, Bill?
Oh, buddy, I was there. What a party. We had such a great time, man.
I'll bet.
You wear the hat. Wear it proud, man. I got my new hat at the rally. We had a wonderful time, man. I've been to a lot. I'm 67 years old. I've been to a lot of concerts. I've been to a lot of games in that arena, but it didn't feel it like Trump did, buddy.
How, the reports were what, 20, 30,000 people,
It was 20,000 in the stadium or something like that, and then apparently there was an overflow of thousands more.
And Bill, did we talk earlier?
They had a bunch of big screens out in the parking lot for people who couldn't get in. We were in the first balcony holding up the signs. We were partying our ass off. My cousin got arrested for throwing darts. My cousin got arrested for throwing darts at that baby Trump balloon.
Oh, wow.
He's out now, though. He's okay. He only had a $100 bond, so we got him out pretty quick.
So, yeah, that was right down the street. I think it was...
This guy parties harder than I do.
No kidding.
I'm going to tell you, Bill would love our show during the week, wouldn't you?
Yeah, dude,
Bill,
you need to tune in.
Yeah, Bill, you sound like you would enjoy the Daily Mojo in addition to Chris's show on Newsmax. So yeah, the protest or the counter rally, I guess, down the street at the bar that didn't.
It was a I don't know. I guess you can say gay bar. I don't know. I don't care.
Right.
But look, that's what it was, and they kept us separated from them. You know, they were about a mile down the road, but they went down there and messed with them anyway. I didn't want to lose my seat, so I stayed where I was.
See, that's called wisdom. When you get to that age where it's like, you know what? No, I'm not going. I don't want to lose my seat.
yeah. They're younger than I am, man.
There you go. Well, Bill,
I was there to see Trump.
I was watching part of it on TV. Part of it I was listening to. He knows how to work a crowd.
Oh yeah,
he is.
Look here, buddy.
Brilliant.
He was awesome. Mm-hmm. He was awesome. Melania was awesome. Donald Trump Jr. was awesome, man. But Trump, he stole the show.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah, I'm consistently impressed with the size of the crowds that he brings in.
Oh yeah, it's amazing.
It's to me, honestly, the size of those crowds, because you constantly see and hear about polls, The Hill and Reuters and all these people. They can't wait to tell you how bad Trump is doing in the polls.
Right.
This is exactly what was happening in 2016, though, where they were like, Hillary is guaranteed to win. Look at all these polls that are showing her so far up and Trump is so far down.
Yeah, and then she won the election. Oh no!
Wait, no, she didn't.
Holy ass!
And yet, every time that Trump held a rally.
Mm-hmm.
You actually saw like people coming in. They were dwarfing the populations of some towns that he would show up at so that they could come and see him speak and do all this stuff. Meanwhile, Hillary is having to play with optics with her crowd sizes. I remember that she rented out this huge like warehouse-looking building that had chairs as far as the eye could see.
And they had to keep a tight little shot so that so it looked crowded because there weren't that many people.
They actually set up walls to block out and shut off the lights at the back part so that it looked like the crowd was much bigger. I was like, no, she's done. She's done.
This is going to be, if nothing else, this is going to be a very interesting campaign season. We've got a few more months, so it's going to take a while to shake out. But we're going to have a lot of entertainment, a lot of entertaining moments. The first debates are. Not next week. It's the week after next, right? It's or no, I think it is next week. It's the 25th, 26th, or 26th, 27th. And so 2 nights of debates, which will, I'm sure, bring us lots of things to talk about, and I'm sure Chris Salcedo to talk about as well, as soon as, again, we let him out of the trunk of my car. So it's been, I'm sure he's getting thirsty in there.
It's a little warm.
This has been a terrific opportunity to meet the Newsmax audience. We appreciate you inviting us into your cars, living rooms, wherever it is you're watching. Does anybody watch TV in a living room anymore?
I do.
Oh, you're old.
But I'm old-fashioned.
Wow,
like that.
I just don't know about that. Chris returns on Monday. In the meantime, Brad Staggs here, Brandon Morse there, real Ron Phillips, the intern, on the other side of the glass in there. Your Daily Mojo. We appreciate it, and we will see you again soon on Newsmax. Thanks for joining us. Say it, Ron. Say it.
Brad, you're clear.
If I was clear...
I'm not listening to this.
Wow.
You get one.
Yeah.
See? And again, bravo, Dwarf Clone. Bravo.
Yeah, that was
bravo.
Great.
Thank you. Proving the jackals can, in fact, dial a telephone. I think that's amazing. Rule number 5. By the way, did you see Izzo's tweet this morning?
No. He's on vacation, by the way.
He's in Minnesota.
Yeah, he's fishing.
He is. He tweeted a short video of. He looked like he was sitting on the back porch somewhere with trees in the background and smoking a cigar, a big stogie hanging from his mouth. And he says, some people think that it's too early to enjoy a cigar, too early in the morning to have a cigar, and then he picks up a beer. And I was just. I hope he's having a good. I hope he's decompressing. Is he not doing his show? I mean, he's on vacation. He's
on vacation. Yeah, he didn't do a show last night or tonight. It's in replay.
Lazy son of a. Wow, he gets into show business and he thinks he deserves a vacation. Huh? You see, Rule 5, Jack Hole there. Real Brown says impressed with the size. Okay, I know. Did you notice that I looked at as soon as you said you were impressed with the size? Go back, check the tape. I looked down. I looked at the bell and I went, but
you wanted to grab the bell.
I did want to grab the bell, but again,
you did it on the very first show. I don't know why you didn't. Very first show, you said that's our innuendo bell.
Did I?
Yes.
He wanted to be on his best behavior around me.
Wait a minute.
Trying to set a good example.
The first day I did that?
Yeah.
Was that smoking crack or something?
No.
Are you sure?
There's nothing wrong with the innuendo bell.
No, I'm just saying. I just don't remember doing it. So, wow. Memory. It's first thing to go. Daily Mojo.
This is the seditious, rabble-rousing, liberty-loving, home of fun, entertaining, and compelling talk. Mojo 50.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. No White House response just yet to reports that President Trump approved limited military strikes on Iran before calling off the mission, which would have been in retaliation for Iran's shoot-down of a U.S. Navy drone.
A U.S. official says the Pentagon was preparing for striking Iran with targets including radars and missile batteries, but the preparations were abruptly called off. It's unclear just how far along they were, but no shots were fired nor missiles launched. The New York Times reports President Trump had approved the strikes before pulling back.
Correspondent Sagar Meghani, Leon Panetta, who served as defense secretary under President Obama, says planning a military strike only to abruptly cancel it presents its own risks.
You ought to proceed with the strike as opposed to suddenly having your planes in the air and having to pull them back, because that could result in even greater miscalculation.
Panetta on NBC's Today Show. A U.S. senator says Democratic presidential candidates set to take part in a forum tomorrow night in Columbia, South Carolina, have turned their backs on all pro-life Americans.
Senator Ben Sass of Nebraska says used to be that the Democrat demand for unfettered abortion was
shared by only a very small, hard fringe portion of their elected leaders.
Take Hillary Clinton, who in 2008 said abortion should be safe, legal, and rare.
And as she would regularly emphasize, quote, by rare, I mean rare.
But today, Sass says there's no daylight between the views of the Democrat candidates and the forum's sponsor, Planned Parenthood.
Abortion, anytime, anywhere, for any reason, for free.
Bob Agnew, Capitol Hill.
Chicago police say a 22-year-old pregnant woman is in critical condition after she and several other people were shot and wounded early this morning at an apartment complex on the city's south side. Wall Street, Dow futures down 52 points, S&P futures off 8. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Fast Track Student Loans can get your student loans out of default, stop any wage garnishments, stop collection calls, and stop seizure of your tax refund. Give yourself a break. Stop the stress and get your student loan payments down to as little as $25 a month based on what you can afford to pay. 800-709-4395, 800-709-4395, 800-709-4395, 800-709-4395.
You get great service and you do some good in the world with Patriot Mobile. Sign up for a Patriot Mobile account today. Start saving money, get great coverage, and do a little bit of good because they support companies, organizations, and candidates that you like. It's patriotmobile.com/doc. patriotmobile.com/doc.
A former Democratic National Committee member told Politico on Monday that he will become National Senior Advisor to the Draft Beto campaign. That sounds like a horrible beer, probably a Pilsner.
The Defenders with Stephen Airy, tonight at 9.
Mojo 50.
Rates based on a man age 42 with no tobacco use of any form for 20 years. Policy number 25. Policy underwritten by various life insurance companies. Premium includes a $50 policy fee. Rates and underwriting criteria subject to change at any time. Not available in some states.
You've heard those term life insurance ads with their rates read very low, and at the end they have a long disclaimer read extremely fast. Why? Because most people like us will never qualify for those rates. It's just a way to get you to call. Listen, at the Term Lifeline, we'll never quote you a low rate hoping you'll call, then try to sell you something else. But we do promise to get you the best rates available on policies of $500,000 or more with professional service. Don't waste your valuable time. Get the real rates you want on term life insurance policies of $500,000 or more from the Term Lifeline. Call now.
866-521-TERM. 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 That's 866-521-8376.
This is the Mojo 50 Institute for the Advanced Application of Freedom. Ya bitches.
The mothership has landed.
I love it. Effing Florida man. Can anyone confirm the rumor from Ed Handicap Jeff that Brad may be leaving Mojo 50 Radio? I don't. First of all, I have not heard that rumor.
He might have started that rumor, seeing as how you're going on vacation in the middle of next week.
You never know. I mean,
I think he said something about you giving your 2 weeks notice.
It's a no. What I said was I've noticed it's been 2 weeks since I've had to do something completely different.
There it is. Look at this camera shot. It looks like a freaking rock concert.
I've been Dude, it is so foggy in here, and it smells like fruit punch.
See,
I don't.
At least it doesn't smell like cigarette.
I don't. That's why I don't understand why restaurants. Well, you can't vape in here. It smells like air freshener. How could that possibly?
No. I want you. It doesn't smell like air freshener. It smells like something. It smells like gas, like fruity gas that was put in your gullet and then spit back out in my face.
Good God, you just ruined it for me, dude.
Wow, that's
well, that's what it is.
I think we just witnessed
fruity gas that you threw up from your. That's what it is.
I think we just experienced some millennial angst.
I'm a walking, talking Linkin Park song, Brad.
Could be. By the way, Ron, I want you to take a look at the picture I brought up on the screen for those of you listening to the podcast.
Why did you have to do that?
Why did you do that without letting me warn somebody?
Why did you? Oh, God, Brad.
That is the result of an e-cigarette explosion.
Wow.
It left a teen with a broken jaw, multiple missing teeth. It cracked his jaw.
Look at that X-ray.
Yeah, that is that's actually a CAT scan. I don't know why they would want to scan a cat, but they did. The jaw injury, the damaged teeth.
I'm more of a dog scan person.
Exactly. I mean, cat scans you can never depend on.
Even I get to do bad dad jokes. Hold on.
It's very nice. 6 weeks later, his jaw had healed. He's still missing teeth. So there are apparently some hazards to vaping.
That's right. Don't buy the cheap e-cigs. There you go.
I guess, he must have been. But although would because I'm thinking of the one that's like shaped like a pen. You know, it's big around as your little finger. With the battery in that thing, if it exploded, would it cause? I mean, geez, that's a lot of damage for a little bitty battery. I mean, those batteries can't be that big in those, can they?
No, but they may still cause a lot.
Okay.
A bullet's not big, but it can cause a lot of damage.
Good point. Now, but I say that to ask you this: if those are those little, the little disc batteries that you put in watches and stuff.
No, I don't think
if that's what does that, imagine what
that would do. I'm sure there are pictures out there.
They're like little mini grenades.
For the love of God, don't pull up any pictures of those things blowing up.
Oh, that'll be exciting.
I've seen them catch fire in people's pockets, though. There are videos of that.
Yeah, I'd rather it catch fire in my pocket, though, than in my face.
Those are fun to watch, though, because it is fun. There's nothing quite. The two things that are really funny is watching someone step into a hole
while texting.
Right. And watching someone jump around with literally their pants on fire. There's something it's like walking into a spider web.
You could get lost in the rabbit hole of YouTube.
Oh, absolutely.
I do.
You ever walked into a spider web and so you're doing this? Now
people are like, what in the hell are you doing?
Yeah, watching from 20 feet away. They can't see what the hell just happened. So all they see is you flailing like a monkey and trying to get something out of your face. Are you happy now, jackholes? I rang the damn bell. I wore pants. I combed my hair. I tried not to drink and smoke in front of the parents. And
look at what being good is doing to Brad.
It's really
killing him.
Pissing me off. By the way, this kid's mouth still wouldn't close properly. Doctors had to wire his jaw shut for 6 weeks to give him time to heal. They're going to publish the case because they were surprised by the extent of injury that occurred from a single e-cigarette.
That's so bad.
Ta-da! You know what? They find that the leading cause of death is life. So something's going to get you.
Not wrong.
Something is going to get you. Just depends.
100 out of 100 people who have seen the moon die. I don't know if you knew that.
My God, you're right.
Yeah.
That's scary. So generally on Fridays we do our little thing called Netflix and Chill, where it's we have our highly produced theme song. By the way, there's a bar here in Dallas. I think it's in Louisville. It's in the Dallas area. It's something in Chill. It's Eat and Chill. And I'm thinking, do they know what? Did they?
They know what they're doing.
They know what they named it.
Have you been in the bar, Brad? Maybe they do know what it is.
What do you think I'm doing tonight?
Did you sit down in a booth and immediately some dude came up to you and got a little too close? Or I should say close enough.
Define too close. I mean, at my age,
I don't know, Brandon. He sits in the studio and a dude comes in and gets a little too close to it.
Well, it's just because I love the fruity gas that
and he loves the beard, brother.
Yes. By the way, some sad news here before we get into Netflix and Chill. Do I have any? I don't really have any sad music. I don't have any sad music. Monterey cypress that is thought to have inspired the truffula trees in Dr. Seuss's The Lorax has fallen. The shaggy tree was thought to be around 100 years old, according to Tim Graham, spokesman for the San Diego Parks and Rec Department. It lived not in Truffula Valley, but am I saying that right? Is it Truffula Valley? It is now, but rather in the arguably less colorful Ellen Browning Scripps Park, looking out over the coast of La Jolla, part of San Diego.
Do they show a picture of that, Brad?
The tree, yes, the tree is right there. However, they don't show a picture of it dead. Were you hoping for some dead tree?
No,
porn?
I just
Is
wanted
that what you were looking for?
I wanted to remember what one of the trees looked like.
Yeah, because if it inspired the Dr. Seuss trees, I kind of want to see what the real one looks like.
Well, there you go. That's it. That is the tree that inspired the tree.
Well, that is just.
That's looks a lot like
nice.
Looks like it does kind of look like the tree, doesn't it?
It does. Yeah, a little bit.
It's
a little bit. That's a very beautiful
it's
tree.
dead.
That's the thing about Dr. Seuss is there are no straight lines. Did you know that?
Only gay ones? Thank you. Be here all week. Make sure you try the veal. It's particularly good this week.
Tip the waitress.
There are no straight lines in Dr. Seuss stuff. What about the hat? I mean, there's got to be a straight line.
No, that's even bent.
Damn it.
Yeah.
Now it's a challenge. The jackals are going to find a straight line, so whatever. All right, so let's. Who wants to start today?
I can start today.
You start
guys.
today. There. The Brandon Morris from Red State.
So, it's on HBO Go or HBO Now, depending on you know, what kind of.
It's now it's called HBO. Now you go.
Now you go.
Now
you
you go.
Now you go.
Uh-huh.
But it's called Silicon Valley.
Is it about breast implants?
It is. It is, Brad. So it's about. It's created by Mike Judge, who is the.
Oh, I love him.
Yeah, exactly. He
Him and
created
Bobby?
King of the Hill, Beavis and Butthead. Pretty much, if it's good animation or something like that,
right?
Or just even a great like. He also created the Office Space.
Oh, that's right. Yes. Yeah.
So he's just a genius. And so he creates Silicon Valley, which is essentially about a bunch of nerds, a bunch of beta males.
Right.
And they're trying to start up this company that does data, I want to say shrinking, you know, to put it lightly.
Data shrinking?
Compressing. That's what I was thinking. All right. That's the word I was trying to find. But so it's about the misadventures and the struggles and stuff like that of these five guys, and it's pretty hysterical. They run up against all these problems. You can tell that, you know, they're not very assertive, but, you know, whenever they try to be assertive, it comes off as funny, you know? And the interaction between some of the employees, the way that, you know, problems are solved through the genius of the lead designer and stuff like that. It really is, it's smart, it's intelligent, it's funny, but it's also like a really kind of, like it usually is for Mike Judge, kind of like that skewed, goofy look into Silicon Valley.
Right.
And I'm addicted to the show. It is an addicting show.
So it's a series, not a movie?
It is a series. It is definitely a series that you're going to want to binge it because it's not like hour-long shows.
Don't tell me what to do.
They're 30 minutes long. Brad, go watch it right now.
Get off my lawn. Get off my lawn.
Get off my lawn.
Damn it.
You damn millennials!
All right, so the 30-minute episodes?
30-minute episodes. That way you're not sitting around. Because I feel like the whole hour-long episode thing is great and all, but after a while it's just like...
Yes, I agree.
I want to binge this, but I kind of want to...
Well, and I've noticed, like on Netflix, it's the one about bonding. I think it's called
bonding. Yes,
15, 16-minute episodes.
Really?
Yeah. They're like they're you just get into it, and all of a sudden, it's on to the next one, which I thought was interesting because I'm not sure that's ever really been done on a mainstream platform like Netflix or HBO. Before.
Usually, when they do something like that, it's the short story form of things, such as Love, Death, and Robots.
Right.
You know.
Well, yeah, you tell the story in as economically as you can and still be entertaining, and then you're not forced to fill an extra 8 minutes, with fluff and blech.
Which is really, I mean, I'm surprised it actually took this long to get there for that, because I mean, you got to think many of us are now just completely and totally fine with the 10-minute YouTube video or 10-minute or less YouTube video. That's actually what causes us to pay attention more, is the fact that something is shorter. Even in the article writing world, where I live, you know, the shorter the article, the more people want to pay attention to it, because if you show them in this huge long article, they become intimidated. They're like, I don't have time for this, to invest myself into this. I just want the quick news hit and I want to be gone. I think it's going to become the same exact thing when it comes to TV shows. You're going to see more stuff like Love, Death, and Robots, which is just 15 minutes, you're in, you're out, you're on with your life.
Well, and remember,
if you want to binge it, it's easily bingeable because it's basically like popping visual popcorn.
Yeah. It's historically, television shows. Well, let me ask you this, Ron. In history, in broadcast history, what is the purpose of a television show?
I don't know.
It is to fill the time between commercials. That is it. That is
really?
why television was created.
Right. That's a really
that makes sense.
Television shows were created to fill the time between commercials. That's it. That's the bottom line. That's what they are for. And so when you don't have those constraints about stretching out the material to fill that block, but then you still have to deal with the sponsorship aspect. So
wasn't that the way the first 3 seasons of Black Mirror were? Some of them were relatively like 20, 30, 40 minutes long.
And I think they should have kept that. The new
ones are all an hour, a little over an hour.
Well, yeah, because especially the latest episode that everyone's going gaga over, the one that has the Falcon.
The Falcon
from the Marvel movies. I forget his name.
Renner.
No, that's Hawkeye.
Oh, that's Hawkeye. Yeah,
no, I'm talking about Falcon. The Falcon. The black
Grandpa,
guy
he said the hawk, not
Oh
Hawkeye.
my God!
Lend me your ear.
That was a weird episode, by the way. I don't know if you saw that.
The last one I saw had Miley Cyrus in it. Was it that? There's a new one out. I take
Yeah.
it.
There's one
It's
after
the new
Miley
season.
There's one after the Miley Cyrus one now.
There's a whole bunch. I mean, they're getting in all sorts of high level actors to come in and play now.
Which I don't like. I would prefer it be the...
I agree. I
would
actually
prefer it be
don't.
the
It
unknown.
takes me out of it a little bit.
Uh-huh.
But the last one that I watched was about this two best friends who play this video game. And
Oh, yeah,
it's in the
yes, yes,
future,
that one.
and now like you
Yes.
attach this thing to your temple, and it basically takes you into the game.
Yes, we discussed that.
Oh,
and
that
we
was the
asked-
very first one.
We asked if that was
Yeah,
about...
he asked the question.
Does that make them gay? Are they gay?
Brandon, are they gay?
Yeah. No, they're
Interesting.
gay.
Are they?
Yes.
Even though in the real world, when they kissed, there was nothing there.
In the fake world, it was a dude and a woman.
Yeah.
Right, but just because that is the delivery system through which he decides that he wants to become romantic with his buddy, it does not make him straight. Just because you're pretending, look, just
Well,
because
they couldn't do it in the straight world.
but it doesn't matter in the straight world.
I'm sorry, in the real world, they couldn't
Essentially,
do it in the real
all
world.
he was doing was putting on a suit. That's all he was doing. But the emotions and stuff like that, the attraction is still there.
Does that make the dude transgender?
No.
Is this a bad time to tell Brandon about my Brandon Morse doll that I have at home?
No, now is the perfect time to tell me about that.
Now would be a good time, as a
because
matter of
now
fact.
would also be the perfect time.
I really love my
Well,
Brandon
first, I
Morse
actually
doll.
want to see pictures. Is it like is it accurate?
You can get those for $9.95 a month on my website.
Is it accurate? You mean
It's the crux of his
anatomically,
eBay empire.
correct? Is it anatomically accurate?
That episode did inspire a lot of discussion.
It did. We talked about it.
I don't think there's any really. I don't think there's a consensus as to, because the opinions are across the board.
Look at it this way: furries. All right, furry community. You can
those freaks.
You can look. Let's say that and for the sake of this conversation, that we're talking about furries that
Right.
do this for sexual reasons.
Right.
Okay.
Not Tekru.
You can not Tekru and his pouch.
Right.
You can.
There's no pouch. It's a lie.
That's debatable. You can say, yeah, I'm a fox, and you're a squirrel, and we're banging. But you're not really a fox and a squirrel. You're banging. You're two humans who are banging. All right. That just because you're wearing a suit doesn't change the fact that you're the thing underneath. Okay. It's two dudes getting together and banging. They're just wearing suits.
Okay.
Essentially, just because they're digital doesn't make a difference.
Oh, he's a hardcore, isn't he?
He is hardcore with his.
the way it's gonna be.
I will philosophize and really get into the nitty gritty of this stuff.
So you want to get into the emotions of it? I mean, I see the way I took it was I could
Because it was emotional.
Did you see Brokeback Mountain?
No.
Okay, Ron, you didn't see it either.
I didn't either.
Okay, I would encourage you to watch it. It's again, I walked away from it scratching my head and going, that was the worst love story I've ever seen.
Yeah.
It was a story about stalking. It came out of nowhere when the guys got together at the beginning. They're sheep herders. I don't know what the hell they were doing up there. But one minute they're talking, and the next minute one of them's on top of the other. It's like, okay, there was not even any foreplay in that. That just looked bizarre.
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
So with this, at least I understood, okay, I get the attraction because they're they've known each other for all these years, and they simpatico and their buddy, all that. So at least it made more sense in that aspect. But it's still, to me, there was the dichotomy of the two men in the real world versus a male and a female in the electronic world.
But they set up the fact that they are emotionally linked like that, because you'll recall, look, they have been best friends for a long time. Right. And then, the buddy is still having sex with young women, and, he's not finding any kind of common ground with them. Because remember, like, after they got done having sex, she turns over, she's on her phone. He's like, huh.
Yes.
He's feeling emotionally empty.
It's like trying to have a conversation with a millennial.
Right. Exactly. You ass.
You ass.
But so he starts. He has that emotional fulfillment with his buddy.
Yes.
And only his buddy. The attraction that he is feeling is for a man. It
I don't
is
know.
homosexual.
He said it was an explosion, an orchestra.
I bet there was an explosion.
It was an orchestra.
It was an orchestra versus what did he say? A guitar riff.
Yes, that's what he said.
So I mean, if you can experience that feeling,
If you're going to use if you're going to use a metaphor that gay,
really, you think that's a gay metaphor? Orchestra versus a guitar? I thought it was actually very descriptive. And if somebody said, "Hey,
it's descriptive.
You want to try this because this is like an orchestra versus the guitar." It's like it's like if you read stories of men who became circumcised later in life, they say the difference in sex is. I can't believe I'm talking about this. The difference in sex is like the difference between color and black and white, which I thought was a fairly that's a fairly descriptive descriptor. So the orchestra and the guitar riff. I just thought that was, and if somebody offered you the opportunity to do that, you wouldn't do it, huh?
As a virtual woman.
No. Say you and I were replaced.
No.
Say I.
Dude, he's holding fast to this.
Wow, he really is.
We're not trying to convince you, Brandon.
I am because I have this new video game, and it's like this VR thing.
It's wild. It's like an orchestra versus the guitar riff
versus your little ukulele.
Hold on.
Dude, don't make fun of my ukulele.
All right, I think we've beat that one into the ground.
Okay, so this week I finally watched a movie from 2017, and for those of you who are also Carla Gugino fans, good
huge.
Lord,
love the latest album.
You have no idea who she is, do you? Look her up,
No,
you'll see.
sure. What's her name? What's her name?
So I saw a movie
What's her name?
she's a co-star, Carla Gugino.
Okay.
And she's actually a supporting actor in this movie. It's called The Space Between Us. It's Asa Butterfield, where he is born on Mars.
Yeah.
And then travels back to Earth. And of course, his body can't take it. But it's kind of like a romantic kind of deal. But of course, it dealt with space and sci-fi and stuff. So I got into it.
Enough about the story. Is she naked in it?
Carla, no, she's not.
So she's coming back from space and she's having to.
She actually ends up being his.
When you say like she can't, like she's having trouble.
So a crew of space astronauts go to the settlement that's been created on Mars. The primary astronaut's female, but she gets on her way there. They find out she's pregnant.
Okay.
And so the baby's born on Mars, and he lives there for 16 years.
Right. An anchor baby.
An anchor baby.
A Mars anchor baby.
And then he travels back to Earth, wants to come back to Earth. So he comes back to Earth, and basically his organs can't handle Earth's atmosphere.
That's so crazy.
It is crazy. It's crazy to think about. I mean, from a sci-fi standpoint, that's why I watched it. But he falls in love with this girl he's been chatting with back on Earth.
Yeah.
And travels around. But Carla plays a supporting actress role in there. I'm just a fan of hers. I like her.
Sure she's not naked in it?
I'm sure.
I'll watch it if she is.
I'm always so fascinated by the idea of
Gary Oldman is in this too.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, that's instantly sold me.
Yeah.
He's my favorite actor.
Yeah, it got like 16% on Rotten Tomatoes, so not a lot of people enjoyed it. But
you can't. But no. Here,
unless
the
you're a
problem
sci-fi
with Rotten
or space
Tomatoes
fan.
now, Rotten Tomatoes is totally unreliable.
No, it really is
because they're owned by who'd you say they're owned by?
They're Warner Brothers.
Yeah, so it's a Warner Brothers. So you write them off anytime you see one of those scores.
The Space Between Us with Asa Butterfield and Gary Oldman. Yeah.
I'm always really interested in the effects of space when you come back to Earth, because like who was the guy who was up in the International Space Station for a while?
One of the twins. Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, he came back and like there was footage of him having to learn to walk again because you live in that
exactly. Even working out every day, it's just not like working out in Earth's gravity.
He looked like he had legs that were essentially made of noodles. It was crazy to watch him try to walk because he was having to.
Yep.
Well, if you don't, I mean, if you're sick, if you end up laid up in bed for a couple of weeks, you try to get up.
Yeah,
it's tough to do. So I can imagine space would be even worse.
It's so weird.
I'd still go.
I would too. No, absolutely. The moment I get the chance, I'm up there.
So my suggestion this week is Ray Donovan. Anybody ever seen that? Ray Donovan?
I've heard of it.
No, who's the actor?
Ray Donovan, Liv Schreiber.
Liv Schreiber, yeah.
And the show was, as Dexter was having its finale, that was the kind of replacement show that Showtime put on. And so you can find it on Showtime. But Ray Donovan is a fixer. and he in the first few seasons he lives in L.A. and he's a tough guy. And he's a
tough guy.
He's a tough guy.
Yeah.
He's from the East Coast, but he's out there on the West Coast with his family. And it's the trials and tribulations of a fixer. His brother is a former boxer who owns a gym, a workout gym for boxers, and his other brother. It seems like someone dropped him on his head when he was younger. He's like not the brightest bulb in the socket, and it's just a fascinating story. There's some pretty intense violence in it, which it's like a typical party at my house.
Oh yeah,
some violence, some sex, some off-color language, and it's just you.
It's
and me.
it's basically kind of like a Count Drogo party.
Yes,
yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
So it's I think it's just It's in season 5 or 6 now, because toward the end, I think the 5th season, they moved the production to New York. I don't know whether it was so he could be with his real life family or what, which is generally the kiss of death for a series, like it was with the X-Files.
Yeah,
when they move it out of its typical location.
Yeah,
but in this one, I think it's gotten even better since it's moved to New York. So it's still on the air. It's at Showtime. It's called Ray Donovan.
Ray Donovan.
By the way, this has been sponsored by Patriot Mobile. If you're into violence and sex and harsh language, they don't care. They don't care.
Yeah.
Here's the whole idea behind Patriot Mobile is they will not take money that you pay them for your cell phone bill every month. They will not take that and fund things like Planned Parenthood, who, by the way, just opened an abortion clinic in Alabama.
Oh, did they?
Which is kind of weird. So your money will not be going to fund things like that. Instead, it'll fund things like the NRA. They're in the news. Whew, I don't know what's going on over there, but other conservative and libertarian causes as well. So go to patriotmobile.com, and right now, if you use the promo code "Come On Over," get your first month free. Come on over. Come on over tonight, Brandon. It's VR game time. I got my doll all set up. It's gonna be a party. It's your Daily Mojo.
High capacity, fully automatic, large caliber, Freedom. Mojo 50.
I'm Michael Pelka from PuroPelka.com. Here's your 2-minute drill with a farewell and a thank you to Sarah Huckabee Sanders. She's the lady who held down the fort at the press briefings for the last 2.5 years and gave as good as she got, and in most cases better, like she did earlier this week, talking about the border and the Democrats.
The problem is that we don't have Congress working with us to actually fix the problem, and we're having to do it alone. It's a sad day when Mexico and the Mexican government is doing more than Democrats in Congress to actually secure the U.S. border.
Sarah Sanders had the complete opposite of what Barack Obama had for 8 years, a press corps that just kissed his butt every single day, couldn't wait to hear from the White House. But Sarah Huckabee Sanders faced all kinds of abuse, even at the hands of the White House Correspondents' Dinner.
I actually really like Sarah. I think she's very resourceful. Like, she burns facts, and then she uses that ash to create a perfect smoky eye.
Not even close to funny, Michelle Wolf. But my favorite Sarah Huckabee Sanders was when she gave it to Jim Acosta, big-time mic drop, actually in the press room.
There have been folks out there who have said, there's a cause and effect. He watches something on Fox and Friends, and then he tweets about it. Is that what happened this morning, and does that go on?
I'm sure you're disappointed he's not watching CNN.
I think he watches a lot of CNN, if you don't mind.
I don't think that's true. Your numbers would be higher.
Boom! A mic drop moment. Thank you, Sarah Sanders. Testudo, my friends. Testudo.
Michael Palka's 2-minute drill is powered by MojoWildRice.com. Their wild rice is a superfood, gluten, sodium, fat, and cholesterol-free, yet high in fiber, protein, zinc, phosphorus, and trace minerals. But you're going to love it because it's delicious. MojoWildRice.com. MojoWildRice.com.
The Daily Mojo.
John, the NRA fired and they sued Oliver North.
Yeah.
They call it conduct harmful to the NRA. It was filed, the lawsuit filed Wednesday in New York, sought a judge's declaration that the NRA isn't required to pay North's legal bills And there's a lot going on over there.
Yeah, it's really crazy.
A little cray-cray in the world these days. Well, it is Friday, and all of these packages have been piling up all week.
Piling up!
While you've been at the beach, laying out and tanning your whatever. You're tanning.
Well, you'll find out later.
Suspicious package Friday.
You'll find out.
Oh, hang on now. We got our opening.
Attention all units, we have a report of a suspicious package at 6125 Airport Freeway.
Wonderful.
And, see, that's,
wonderful. So well done.
How we know that it's a suspicious package Friday.
It's the only way
sirens, yes. It's better than the jingle for Netflix and chill. Much better.
Which is
not a damn thing.
Right. Well, I wouldn't call that not a damn thing. I would just call that a worthy effort. So this first package that you're opening is
so yeah, this is from
like a short cylinder.
It's from Watkins. The Wizard.
Looks
the Wizard King.
This might be a circular puzzle or perhaps a drinking glass.
Or perhaps he's by the way, this one says I'm sexy and I know it. Wiggle, 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 yeah.
I'm sexy and I know it.
Almost felt like a gun box open somewhere. Right? So that it's about the size, about 6 inches long, cylindrical, fits in your hand.
Very nicely in my hand.
Yeah. It's white at the end, kind of brown.
Well, the reason is, it really is just a, so we have a cat ring. We have a...
Wait, a what?
A cat ring. Would you like
Are you sure that's not a cat fox?
I am sure.
A fox cat?
I saw that yesterday.
It could be a fox cat.
Here we have a raccoon. A little tiny raccoon.
Wait, that's a raccoon?
Yeah, it's a raccoon. We're going to hide him somewhere in here.
Oh, we're going to play Hide the Raccoon?
That's my favorite game. What do we got here? We have a cookie cutter of a bear.
A bear? It's a bear cookie cutter.
A bear cookie cutter. And what do we have here? We got a bag of something. Legos!
Lego my ego.
Oh, it's the pirate guy from the Lego movie. Pirate guy from the Lego movie.
Which, by the way, was a previous recommendation of yours on Netflix and Chill. Lego movies, which for people who would normally be attracted to those movies, I have to admit, I never was attracted to them.
That's just your preference.
No,
Brad.
but that's
okay.
It's a choice.
Here is a ring of a skeleton wearing a top hat and bow tie.
That would be the magician skeleton.
That's right.
Otherwise known as that Indian magician who tried to escape from the shackles underneath the water.
Yes.
Yeah.
Here is a keychain that is also a bullet. I'm keeping that.
Or is it? How do you know? You know what's going to be funny?
The TSA will let me know next time I.
What's going to be funny if that thing has been loaded with cocaine, you get pulled over. It's not mine. Somebody sent it to me. Yeah, sure, buddy. Get in the car.
Here is a magnet that you can. It looks like a joke magnet. You put it somewhere.
Yes.
And as you can see,
it's a penny. What is that?
There's a penny and a dime there, and people come by, they pick it up, like, oh, why can't I pick it up?
Right. And it's because it's not.
And you can also put it inside this.
Wait a minute. There's another one of those over here.
Yep.
Okay. Look, what are the odds? Wait.
There's also a magnet for this one. So we put these on the fridge, I guess.
Well, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
We can put them on the fridge.
That's weird. I just.
I guess they were supposed to be super glued.
Oh.
And this one came off.
The super glue wasn't so super.
Thanks for asking. This is a pencil sharpener that is broken.
Well, that's not going to be a very effective tool, then, is it?
No, it is not, Brad. It's not going to.
As long as you got lead in your pencil, you are going to. How do you know it's broken?
Because it's broken.
Oh. It shakes, it rattles.
It rolls.
Uh-huh. And there's a love note.
We also have a note from Watkins, as per the usual. It reads as such.
This may or may not fit. I don't know. It might.
It sounds like he's trying to seduce me now.
All right.
I'll just read it like that.
It's your life. You live it the way you see fit.
Hey, slacker. Since you only work one day a week now, I figured you probably have lots of free time.
He's going to ask you out.
He is going to ask me out.
He's going to ask you today.
He is about to propose a little bit of an indecent proposal. To help with that, I've included some Legos for you to build. Don't worry. They're all here. So you don't have to wait for the rest to get started. I don't know what else is here because
I'm writing this before packing. Whatever it is, I'm sure you or someone else will do something with them. Travis Watkins, Lord of the Suspicious Package Universe, and the guy who works every day.
Nice job. I'm a little flush.
Yeah,
I'm a little
feeling a little hot and bothered.
I'm feeling a little.
It's look. I just provided the voice. It's Watkins who provided the wording.
That's true. Okay. But you know what? It is the actor who brings those words to life.
Oh well, thank you, Brad.
It is
thank you so much.
Brandon will be checking into rehab later, along with Kit Harington.
She is McQueen.
Mm-hmm. All right, so that is our.
That's the first one. One down.
What you got? What do you do for an encore? I mean, after that.
Well, every time Watkins delivers something, it's hard to follow that. So
yes, it is.
But we're gonna try by going here. We're now traveling to Mr. Richard, and it's covered up here by
Richard Head. Mr. Richard Head, please come to the lobby for a suspicious package.
Michael Hunt.
Huh?
Richard Brandt of Wyoming. Richard Brandt of Wyoming. Oh.
Yeah, that'd be otherwise known as Tech
Roo.
Yeah.
Tech Roo. This is from
You
Tech
just
Roo.
gave away his secret identity to everyone, all 7 people listening.
Oh, I'm so sorry. So sorry, Tech Roo. Let's see what Tech Roo has given us today.
And it is
a picture of his pouch, finally.
Glitter, the herpes of the craft world.
It is a book, in fact. It says, Roger's Profanosaurus. Brad!
See?
This is for you, buddy. New expanded edition, an entertaining glossary of vulgarity, expletives, colorful obscenities, and sexual euphemisms.
Is that Roger's
Ideal
or
for use
Rosé?
in the home and the office.
That'd be Roger's pocket.
So whenever we're on Newsmax and we say these words, we're not
Right.
expressly.
So we'll know why they took us to black.
Right, exactly. So air biscuit, we can say air biscuit.
What is an air biscuit?
It is a fart.
You didn't know what an air biscuit was, Brad?
I don't think I've ever heard the
Come
term
on.
air biscuit. Well, I mean, that makes no sense. An air biscuit would seemingly be something solid. It, a fluff cloud, maybe.
Whenever we speak of angels, what we're really speaking of is pillow biter or passive male homosexual.
Wait, a pillow biter? What? A pillow biter?
An angel.
Oh, I see what you did there.
There's Apache. Do you know what Apache is?
Apache?
Mm-hmm.
I barely knew he.
No.
Oh, that was good.
I apologize, everybody. That's Sex Without a Condom or Riding Bareback. It's a popular hit by 60s guitar combo, The Shadows.
Wow, I'm surprised I didn't know that one.
Yeah.
Being as old as I am, I've never, first of all, heard of The Shadows, nor ever heard the song.
There's also, I need to read it, Bone Xylophone.
I love 5th grade.
Advanced gynecological term for the interior of a woman's rib cage. As in, let's go play the bone xylophone.
Wow, that sounds strangely strange.
Sounds like a bonaphone.
Yeah, it's, so it's have to do with the rib cage. I don't. Oh, I get it. I understand what it means. I think.
I just got word I'll be on OAN later tonight if you tune in with Liz Wheeler.
Ah, you gonna do your final thoughts? Oh, no,
I do.
I get you mixed up with Tommy Lahren sometimes.
Wow. Wow.
I've received a lot of insults in my time, bro. But that one got me.
I like Tommy. Tommy was misunderstood.
Tommy doesn't understand herself. You know, I'm not. I'm being mean. All right. This one is from James Went of Alabama.
Where did James went?
Yeah, where do you went?
He went
Alabama.
He went to Alabama, where they opened up that Planned Parenthood.
Wait a minute. Do you know what a dead heat in a Zeppelin race is?
Boobs.
How'd you know that?
It's
dead heat in a Zeppelin race. Yeah, large boobs.
I'm all about the I'm all
How
about.
have I lived all these years and not known
I don't know,
any
but
of
I need to
these?
borrow the book after you get finished with it.
Tecker, you knocked it out of the park with that one, man. Well done. So, Wint has given us multiple things here. One of them is wrapped in what I assume it's a T-shirt.
You better hope it's a T-shirt.
Oh, first off, here's.
Oh, whoa, that is large.
What do you got there, Brandon?
Well, you didn't want to touch this? Why wouldn't you want to touch this?
Oh, it's for you.
It stands up on its
That is
own.
a big peanut water bottle.
Whenever you go to the Pride Parade, there you go.
That's brilliant.
And
dare me to take this to Quick Trip and fill it up? How much?
Just lay it down on the counter and just.
It's a refill. Should only be not $1.99. Should be a refill.
And then walk in, like when you first walk in, just look the cash register guy right in the eye and go,
I'm running on empty.
His name, the funny thing, his name's
I
Chris.
need to be filled up.
Chris actually, he watches the show. So, Chris, when I walk in with this,
that is that a cat on a unicorn?
That is a cat on a llama. That is also a unicorn.
Oh,
And
a llama
this is
unicorn?
A brilliant shirt.
What does it say in the bottom left?
Lucky.
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 Wait, I didn't see it.
Oh,
I was busy staring at the thing.
He's a little
It's a
distracted.
cat, and it's a wow.
Yeah, isn't that neat?
That is cool.
That is neat.
Who's that from?
This is from Went.
Brad, is that one of those water bottles you have to suck on to get the water out of it?
In fact, is.
No, it has a straw.
Oh, well, you still have to suck on it. There you go.
Here is
Wow, that looks even weirder.
That looks like a doctor's visit waiting to happen right there.
I can't decide if that's.
It's like a.
There's a big difference between the exit and the entrance here. It's
Whee!
Wow, this is. I guarantee you, when you know what, I would love to visit the plant in China that is making these, because what are they doing on the assembly line?
Giggling.
I mean, when it comes down,
They're
to
probably all stoic and stuff. They don't care anymore.
Right. Do not laugh.
They're on their 14th hour of
Right.
working on the assembly line. They're
so tired.
They're only making $2 an hour, Brad. I don't think that they're finding it that funny.
So tired of seeing the what's called a. Dicky
Here's
truck.
a lock de-icer for Texas. Because
you need those.
We need that in Texas.
We have one of those outside right now. It's called Outside.
Here is sticky notes that are French fries. French fry sticky notes.
Well, that's very nice.
Yeah, it's very nice.
Mind you, are they the good fry? Are they like good McDonald's fries or the crappy fries?
Yes.
There's a difference.
All right, James, I try really hard to be like, okay, and I've never seen anyone express their dislike of me.
Is it
with
Amy?
that much gusto?
Is it Amy Schumer in concert?
Turn it to that camera on your left, Brandon.
Your other left.
Oh, good Lord.
Amy Schumer reading her own book.
I don't know. I don't know what I did to piss James off that bad.
You know what? You just haven't seen her in the tidy whities pushing the baby cart.
Oh, is that
Have
what
you
I
not
need to
seen
see?
that? Oh boy, I tell you, that'll that will don't eat until after you've seen the picture.
Last but not least,
why are you holding that down like you're embarrassed?
I'm not.
Are you holding it down because you can't see that close? Does Brandon need glasses?
No, I'm trying to
He needs
protect what's over
glasses.
here. First off, The Walking Dead AMC mini calendar.
Oh, you know what? We used to get Jeffy when I was doing the Talking Walking Dead podcast with him. We used to get Walking Dead presents every year, but not anymore.
Ron, can I have that camera back real fast?
You bet.
And also, last but not least,
the candy pulsing pouch.
Oh,
no, is it pulsing or posing?
Posing. It's
Posing.
for posing. It's definitely for posing.
Oh, I thought
so that
it was
you can pulse later.
I thought
that is candy.
You eat
yes,
it.
Yes, it is.
Oh,
you eat it.
I get it now.
Now, yeah.
It took me a minute. Candy posing. I thought it said candy pulsing pouch, and I was like, huh? Where do you put the batteries?
The bids now start at $250. Do I hear 300?
Do I hear 300?
Sweet and sexy, it says.
Yeah.
This is and strangely they took a silhouette of my physique as
They really did. It is definitely you.
That's I mean
he's wearing the same shirt as you right now and everything.
It's weird, isn't it?
That's a very sensual.
Wow. Do you know how many calories are in that thing? I'm telling you, there's that's crazy to eat that.
Which thing?
The candy.
Oh,
if you
okay.
ate all
I
that
didn't know if you were
candy,
talking about the other
those
thing.
are just
But
empty calories.
That thing is full of calories.
That is, I mean, there's.
It's so full of
We
calories.
know we are not doing that tonight. Do you know how many calories are in that thing you're wearing? Are you crazy?
I'm on a
It's not for
diet.
you, though. It's not for you to eat.
Brad, give me that music.
Brandon's not eating it either.
I'm not gonna eat it.
Give him that music
Give me that
again.
music.
Oh, sorry. Yes. Hold on a second. That music is over here, and here we go.
Hey, Brandon. Here's a few things for you and the guys. For Brad, some sticky notes, a water bottle for Handy J
To torment Brad.
an audiobook for Doc when he gets back from vacation. And will Ron eat it off of Brad?
Yes.
Have
It's
fun.
just the price that we have to
Okay.
negotiate.
The bids now start at $5,000.
For $5,000.
Wait, hold on. Wait a minute. So
$5,000.
your price went way down.
Okay,
You
$10,000.
started at $250,000.
No, he started $250.
$250.
I heard
that was when you and
$250,000.
Brandon were eating it off. Now, God,
$5,000. Ron will eat
no,
the
he
candy
will not.
underwear.
Oh, hell.
Actually.
I'll write
Off
that
of
check
Brad.
right now. Get in here. Roll
Brandon,
it.
I hate that you started that "Will Ron eat it" thing because now this is what it comes to. Because
So, Ron, if you were going to start, would you, I mean, see, the thing is, whenever you pick up, let's say, a piece of pizza,
yes,
you know where you're going to start eating the pizza.
yes.
Where would you start eating on this? I mean, there's a lot of places. There's a lot of what I would call starting points.
What does the back of it look like, Brad? What does it?
the back of the box or the back
no,
of the thing?
back of the candy thing. Is there a string?
Well,
Not that matters at all, because that's not where I would start to
Is
eat
that
it.
going to factor into your decision? Okay.
No.
By the way, welcome back to Newsmax. Later, Bill O'Reilly will be discussing exactly how he would start eating this.
Oh my God!
Let's see. It looks like there's a double strap. It looks like it's got leg holes. So it's like a jock strap essentially.
No matter what, you're pretty much going to get a little butt.
Makes you wonder as this is traveling down the assembly line, what people are thinking as they pick this apart.
Why are some of these different colors than
Yeah. I mean, you got to be thinking about something. Do they sneak a bite every now and then? Just a question. These are the things I wonder about.
if you get hungry enough?
I just think it's funny that the water bottles for Handy J.
Right.
Does he know yet?
He does not.
It's far too large.
I can't wait for him to find out.
Far too large for his hands.
This last package, I don't know
I'm
who
going to
it's
tell him here in a minute that he got a water bottle. He needs to come in there and get it.
Yes.
I don't know who it's from because during the course of the package getting here, apparently the ink
It
melted.
smeared off.
Well,
yeah, it smeared off
perhaps
of it.
that's why they would put a note inside so you wouldn't have
Yeah.
to read the return address.
Well, I usually like to say who they are before I
Right.
open the package,
even though they might
so
not
that
want
they
you to
so
say
that they know
it.
to pay attention. But yep. So, and it's also nearly impossible to open.
I like the name of this, by the way. It's a Dicky Chugs.
Dicky Chugs.
Dicky Chugs. That is my nickname in high school.
Brad just found his porn name.
Dicky Chugs.
I'm Dicky Chugs.
By the way, Florida man just said penis water bottle, best gift ever. Someone send one to Rancid Izzo.
Moron.
Yeah, one thing's for sure. This was not modeled after Izzo.
Brad, Jeff's coming to get his gift.
Okay, hang on. Before you do that, Brandon, let's get Handy J over here. Get to the microphone because I want to get your reaction, your emotional reaction as you receive the prize of the day. Are you ready?
There's a prize of the day. Excellent.
And
What the hell is that? I ain't touching that.
That's yours. It is yours.
No.
I told you it was too big for his hands. I told you he couldn't hold it. Did I not say that? I said I don't. Who sent it to him?
It was James Went.
Thank you. James sent this to you. I think it's very rude that you're not taking his gift. Go ahead. See if it fits in your hand. Hold it. Come on.
He just left.
Wow. Wow. Rude, insensitive son of a. Wow. Huh. Okay. Now we.
So
never to get him a surprise present again. That's
whoever this is has unbelievably good handwriting. Says, "Hi guys, enjoy. Hope they bring you as much fun."
Hi, guys. Enjoy. Hope they bring you as much fun as you bring to our mornings. And then it says something that I can't read.
Did my mom write that? She wrote it's like a chicken.
Ulmer?
Ulmer?
I can't.
Uvula? Does it say uvula?
It says uvula.
That is so hot.
It's
touch,
from the...
Hey, would you like to touch my uvula? I hate it when your uvula gets stuck in the back of your throat.
Maybe you can actually identify that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it says uvula.
Yeah, it says uvula.
Uvula. I think that says uvula.
I really feel bad because it's something looks the last name looks like Gay, or maybe even G. I don't know.
Gay uvula.
Gay uvula.
Okay, that's all right.
Yeah.
They'll get the point.
I feel bad because I typically like to recognize who it's from. So if you know this is from you, then speak up online and let me know.
If you're a gay uvula,
if you're a gay uvula, we have some questions for you.
Paging gay uvula. Gay uvula,
Gay
please
uvula,
come to the
please.
front desk for a package. Gay uvula.
So
you've lost your package. It's at the front desk.
We got some really interesting things from Gay Uvula, actually. Politically correct holiday stories.
Did they took that's brilliant.
Yep.
That's brilliant.
Right there.
Very nice.
And also to go along with it.
So now the people listening can not see that. They can't hear you. That's good. What is it? What is it? I can't
Politically
see it.
correct bedtime stories.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So,
It's,
what's one of the titles?
So,
Politically
I'm
correct.
going to go ahead and pop the politically correct bedtime stories here. It's from James Van Garner. Let's see. Let's go ahead and start off with a classic, Little Red Riding Hood.
Oh, I love this story.
There once was a young person named Red Riding Hood who lived with her mother on the edge of the large wood. One day, her mother asked her to take a basket of fresh fruit and mineral water to her grandmother's house. Not because this was woman's work, mind you, but because the deed was generous and helped engender feelings of community.
They said gender.
Furthermore, her grandmother was not sick, but rather was in full physical and mental health, and was fully capable of taking care of herself.
These
as a
are
mature
great.
adult.
She was handy-capable.
Handy-capable.
So, Red Riding Hood set off with her basket through the woods.
She hot?
It is not discussed, and I don't think that matters, Brad.
Was Grandma hot?
Also,
Is anybody hot in the
it's not
story?
It's not about.
It's always about the
it's
hot.
body positivity.
It's all about the hot.
Many people believe that the forest was a foreboding and dangerous place, but never set foot in it. Red Riding Hood, however, was confident enough in her own budding sexuality that such obvious Freudian imagery did not intimidate her. On the way to Grandma's house, Red Riding Hood was accosted by a wolf who asked her what was in her basket. She replied, "Some healthful snacks for my grandmother, who is certainly capable of taking care of herself as a mature adult."
Where your grandma from?
The wolf said, "You know, my dear, it isn't safe for a little girl to walk through these woods alone."
Why does a wolf always have an English accent?
Because he should.
Okay.
Red Riding Hood said, "I find your sexist remark offensive in the extreme, but I will ignore it because of your traditional status as an outcast from society, the stress of which has caused you to develop your own entirely valid worldview. Now, if you'll excuse me, I must be on my way."
And we'll have to wrap it up there, unfortunately. By the way, this has been brought to you by another dramatic reading brought to you by Mojo Wild Rice at mojowildrice.com. By the way, Izzo is in that neck of the woods right now, so let's just hope he's not tainting the rice fields. If you know what I'm saying, and I think you do, go to mojowildrice.com, use the promo code SPRING10 on the summer grilling sampler, and you'll have some of the best stories to tell your kids, your grandkids, and your neighbors that you'll get to know when you have the barbecue. For crying out loud, get out of the house once in a while and be social. Go to mojowildrice.com and use promo code SPRING10. Ron, you ready? You push that button now.
Let's do it.
You push that button.
20 minutes, let's go.
Oh, yeah. That's it, ladies and gentlemen. The end of Doc Thompson's Daily Mojo, even on Newsmax. But before we go, as always, let's find out what we learned today. We learned that if you need us, you'll find Brandon and me tonight. Virtual reality. Gaming. We're calling it gaming.
Gaming.
We learned that there's nothing to see in Alabama. We learned the Department of Homeland Security is full of racists and xenophobes. Or Trump was right. Either way. The Brandon Morse from Red State. What, if anything, did you learn today?
I learned that gay uvulas sent from really awesome gifts.
Right.
I also learned that Newsmax audience, man, they party harder than I do. What the hell's that about?
Right. And they're smarter.
I wouldn't say that.
When he said that, when he told that story, I was thinking of the bull and the young steer and the bull on the hill.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
right,
I know that. I know that story.
Let's walk down
and
there
do
you
them
go.
all.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Right.
You know what else, though?
What did Jackals learn? Or no, we had
the bell count for this week. We had 22 missed innuendo bells, 78 actual bells, 67 rim shots, and 3 horns. Peace out. Y'all have a great weekend.
Thanks, Leprechaun.
You got to show me where he keeps those, because all this I've been trying to find them, and I'm inadequate. I cannot fill your shoes.
I'm inadequate.
I cannot fill your shoes.
Well, you can't.
But that's okay, because we're virtual gaming later tonight.
We are.
It won't be your shoes.
No, you won't be filling them shoes. You'll be filling some.
Ron, did you learn anything today? By the way,
I did. Never buy Handy J a penis water bottle because Handy J can't hold it.
You know they're going to larky this guy, and that's all we're going to get now. It's just boxes of penises.
I guarantee you that nowhere else in this or any other known universe where those exact words have they ever been spoken.
Exactly.
Ever. It was a moment in history unlike any other.
So Rat Bastard II said, Brandon has earned his Amy Schumer Award having been gone on vacation. I don't see how I would deserve that, sir. I think that's a little over punishment, if you ask me.
What did he say?
He said I deserve the Amy Schumer thing.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, you can probably borrow it from Doc. He's not going to listen to it for a while.
Yeah, it's... I thank God that he's not getting an Amy Schumer award.
Right now, he's somewhere going, damn, am I glad I'm not there.
Kool-Aid with a C said, so Doc goes on vacation and Brad gets to do extra work this week. Chris goes on vacation, and again, Brad gets to do extra work.
I'm telling you, I am I'm the most beset upon person in this chair.
You really are.
I really am.
Ragtime Millionaire Gravel said, what I learned was that if you want to cut down on a Democrat, one just needs to compare them to Trump.
But Trump, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Okay. Okay. That it?
That's it.
That's all you
That's
got?
all.
By the way, gay uvula is Ulmer Coy.
Ulmer Coy. Thank you, Ulmer Coy.
Gay uvula, we love you.
Gay uvula, you're amazing.
From this day forward, I'm sorry. You're now
He says we can thank Mrs. Wiggins, fourth grade teacher, for intensive handwriting courses.
We'll get to those new numbers on procrastination as soon as Doc Thompson returns from his Florida vacation and listens to Amy Schumer. Your Daily Mojo in the meantime has been a Robin Phillips production, sort of. Wherever you go, whatever you do, live by the 5 rules, and you got a shot at being right and being happy. Good night, Doc Thompson.
Wherever you are.
Gave you uvula, I'm coming over.
This is the seditious, rabble-rousing,